means one thing, Jay Binkley, Chis Uno Cero. That's right, the Character Concerns crew with you now, following Mac and Drew, talking some big-time college football. Logan this morning, good times. Good afternoon, Chris. What's going on, my friend? You ready for game week?
Yeah, I've been ready for game week for a hot minute now.
I'm very more than a hot minute. I'd say months.
Yeah. Really, ever since we did draft coverage, I've been sitting around here waiting for football season to start. So
that's right. Chis Uno Cero. We did the Character Concerns podcast. We have a new one we just did today. So we did the podcast and the show. Why not? It's all football. And it's football. It's what Chris and I are in. We got UNC and Bill Belichick going tonight in some college football. Of course, it's game week for the Kansas City Chiefs. So it is a great thing to say the word game week because real football, not preseason stuff. This is the real deal, and we got a game Friday night, man. How can you get any better than that?
Yeah, like I said, it was a good slate of college football this past weekend. So I was really pleased with what we saw. I mean, just from like an actual matchup standpoint, some of those games weren't that good because it's week one. Teams don't get preseason, so it is what it is. But yeah, I'm glad we got it back. I know it'll get better over the next few weeks, especially once they get into conference play, because most of these teams haven't started playing conference games yet, and I think it's going to be really nice.
No, it is, unless you have a conference game that's in Dublin, Ireland, like Kansas State found themselves
that
in week 0. Didn't work out so well
for the Cats.
Didn't work out so well for them. But Kansas City Chiefs, Chargers this week in Brazil. Hey, Chiefs keep going till February. We know this. Now all of a sudden you start thinking of narratives. What's going to be the narrative of this Kansas City Chiefs season? Vern always does a great job with the Royals, giving them a motto or a theme before the season starts. What was this year? Sophomore album, something like that?
Yeah, there was a sophomore album.
Yeah, but every one he does is on point. What would you say right now is a Chiefs narrative for this season?
If we were to, take from Vern's wheelhouse, I would say that this is the redemption tour.
Redemption,
because like one of the things that we've kind of seen with the narrative around the Chiefs in the offseason, like the minute that they got smacked around by the Eagles in the Super Bowl, the narrative was dynasty's over.
Yeah.
Like that was that, and I think it's wishful thinking. I think it's mostly people who are hoping that the dynasty's over because they're tired of seeing the Chiefs win. But I think that the Chiefs have a great opportunity to really kind of ruin the lives of all the haters out there, because if they show up this year and they continue to do what they've been doing the last few years, they go deep in the playoffs, get to the conference championship game again for what would this be, the 8th straight year they did?
8 straight years, yeah. All Mahomes has done is go to the title game.
All he's done is go to the title game. The worst he's done is lose in overtime.
The quarterback that they put behind Jackson and Allen, that guy. The one that's 29 years old that plays here. Yeah,
that guy. And if they go to their 4th straight Super Bowl, which will be the first time we've seen that happen since the Bills did it 90-93, I mean, you talk about like eliminating all doubt. Because like you remember towards the end of Tom Brady's run in the league, it got to a point where so many people were looking stupid predicting Tom Brady's downfall that people had to stop doing it. They had to stop doing it. They basically had to wait for him to age out of the league and retire. It's going to get to that point with Patrick Mahomes at some point. It isn't here yet, clearly, but I think this is the year where they redeem themselves after that, and they teach people that we're not finished just because we got smacked around in the Super Bowl.
Let's rewind to 2014. It was the Chiefs and the Patriots at Arrowhead Stadium. Then a little wild card game the next day, right? It was the most epic Royals game ever.
That was a nice couple of days.
And they set the noise record, right? And things are going nuts. And the Chiefs just hammerjacked the Patriots. Middle of our dynasty just spanked them. Remember after the game? Well, during the game, people are like, oh, Brady's done. He's washed. He's done. Forget about Brady. They need to think about quarterback of the future, right? And then after the game, Belichick's like, it's on to Cincinnati. It's on to Cincinnati. That happened in Kansas City. And that was at Arrowhead Stadium. And since that night, Brady went to 5 Super Bowls, winning 4. Since they said he was done and he couldn't be the quarterback for the Patriots, 5 more Super Bowls, winning 4 of them. He clearly wasn't done. And you feel like a lot of that stuff is coming down to Kansas City as well.
Yeah, like I said, I think that there's a lot of people that are really hoping that this is it for the Chiefs.
I think they are hoping. Is it hopefulness? It's not educated It's not making an educated guess like,
No.
this is why the Chiefs are going to downfall, this reason, that reason, and that reason, because there's no formula for it. Well, so what you're saying is you're guessing it's not going to continue, even though year after year people continue to call for the downfall. They call for the Chargers to win the division, you name it, because we've seen teams fall apart. The Buccaneers, did they parlay that after winning with Tom? No. Did the Rams parlay after winning? No. They went back down, and they come back up. Did the Bengals, they've been back to the Super Bowl since? No. Last 2 years, they've watched the playoffs from the couch.
Right. And I think it's kind of like that, what was it, that meme from Breaking Bad? They can't keep getting away with this.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of what it feels like. It's like people saying, oh, the Chiefs can't keep dominating the AFC the way they have year after year. At some point, this silliness has to stop. And it's just like, what evidence do we have that it is?
There's no evidence.
Because, like, they still continue to draft well. They may have solved their left tackle solution at pick 32, which is really hard to do. You don't see a lot of really good tackles drop that far in the draft. And if you do see, like, generally the tackles that are taken around there, it's a major dice roll.
We saw Kelvin Banks and Will Campbell.
Yeah.
Will Campbell went number 4 to the Patriots. Saw Ben Mimbu as a right tackle go to the Jets. And especially everybody relying on Kelvin Banks and Will Campbell and all that. No, they probably got the right one.
Yeah. I mean, I think like Banks, he's supposedly been real solid at left tackle there, but he wasn't going to fall to 32. He didn't have any injury concerns. I mean, they really didn't have a whole lot of options for where they could have gone. Maybe they could have gone Donovan Jackson if Joshua Simmons didn't have the injury issues, or if there was more confidence that Simmons was going to be able to come back from that patellar tendon tear. Maybe they get their hands on Donovan Jackson, and maybe it's not as the same situation as it is with Josh Simmons, but I haven't seen any good arguments against it. It's just they can't keep getting away with this.
Yeah, you've heard the same thing. I think Kyle Brandt, who NFL Network, one of the surviving members that's been there, he said something last week, and I played it. It was, why not the Chiefs was his theme. Why not the Chiefs? So he's in studio for NFL Network, and they're talking about game week, of course. Talking a lot about the Chiefs game Friday night, talking about the NFL slate, and they're talking about predictions. And he had this to say about the Chiefs and Chargers game. And this is very poignant stuff from Kyle Brandt. See, I love that from Kyle Brandt because we hear so much of the other stuff, Chris. But right there, you're saying, what, are they saying this because they mean it? Or are they just saying it because the producers in their ear telling them to say it? Hey, pick somebody else besides the Chiefs. But I like what he said there. Finally, someone had the conads to say it nationally. Hey, look in reason. Is there a reason why they're not picking the Chiefs, or are they just doing it because that's the popular, trendy thing to do? do the smell test on predictions, and that was 100% right. And you don't hear that in the national media very often.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I don't really take a lot of national opinions on the Chiefs that seriously. Because, like, here's the thing. It's become really popular and really easy to rile up Chiefs fans with really stupid takes on the Chiefs that are negative. That's like clearly nobody who knows what they're talking about would say this. You are just saying this for attention. Like prime examples like Jason McIntyre from the Herd with Colin Cowherd. Like, he doesn't believe anything he says. He's just saying something to get attention, to rile people up, because otherwise no one will be talking about anything that he says, because he's just Colin Cowherd's sidekick. No one talks about Jason McIntyre otherwise. This is just what a lot of these guys do because you want to stand out in a field that is full of a lot of people saying the same things every day. So I understand that part of it. You know, it's the formula that made Skip Bayless really popular and famous, and it made Stephen A. Smith very popular and famous. But, like, man, there's only so much you could really do with that. And people, like, a lot of people keep getting away with it in the media because there's a lot of Chiefs fans out there that want that national media validation, which they shouldn't be pushing for. But in doing so, you end up kind of putting yourself in a situation where you end up kind of allowing these people to continue to say that nonsense on the air because that's what they're looking for, is that reaction.
It's what I always said back in, 14 and 15 with the Royals. Because all the Royals fans were like, Royals are only getting 10 seconds at the end of a quick pitch or whatever. No one's talking about the team. I said, well, make them talk about you. And how you make them talk about you is get to the postseason. Then they have no choice. And so when you're sitting out there in 14 and 15, like we used to do our show out there, and we're outside the gates, and all of a sudden, Sports Center was there, MLB Network was there. They may not have wanted to come, but they had to come because the Royals made them come. They forced their hands because they got to the World Series. They get the postseason play. Make them talk about you. Make them care. Chiefs 15 wins last year, constantly going to the postseason. Well, get ready to talk about them again because for 2 years you've been trying to put dirt on this team, especially the Chiefs with the Raiders on Christmas Day lost 2 years ago. They were 9-6. They were ready to push them under. But then all of a sudden they get to the postseason and have one of the better postseason runs in history, playing the top 5 teams in scoring offense and scoring defense every single week. And last year winning playoff games on the road that people said they couldn't do. Make them talk about you. Make them talk about you. They're not talking about you because right now the Royals are kind of an afterthought on MLB Network. Sure, they show their highlights at the end of it. They won't talk about them being 2 games back. They were now 3 games back or whatever. Make them talk about you.
This is why I tell people, I've been telling people like this for years. Like, don't let national media bait you with the terrible takes they have on the Chiefs because that's all they're trying to do.
And they have them.
Yeah,
they clearly have them because they're unfounded too. Because to sit here and say, well, this quarterback, I'll tell you this much: if Josh Allen had gone to 7 straight AFC title games, or Lamar Jackson had gone to 7 straight title games, they'd be making a statue for them already. They would already have them in Canton, Ohio. They would have the statue out in front of the stadium, but they would be building, can anybody beat the great Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson? Mahomes has gone to the AFC title game every single year as a starter, even gone to the Super Bowl or lost in overtime, including old rules, like when he lost to Tom Brady in the postseason, and yet continue to call for their downfall. Yeah, they're going to be without Rice. Their Rice is suspended for 6 games. Yeah, Jalen Royals isn't playing this week. But you know what? Chiefs had to deal with this a lot last year, still found a way to win. So, I digress. We'll get more to that as we go forward. But the Chiefs, of course, can they go to 4 straight Super Bowls and match what the Bills did when the Bills went to 4 straight Super Bowls, but they didn't win any of them. And, of course, what do we expect in the Chiefs-Chargers matchup? That's all coming up next.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, your home for the best food takes in KC.
Regular old American nachos. I don't need jalapenos with mine, just chips, cheese.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5 The Fan.
At Casey's, we're too nice to say no. So when someone asked for a free frozen drink, we said sure. Then they said every Friday all summer, and well, now we're giving away free medium frozen drinks every Friday. Free frozen Fridays with Casey's Rewards. It's not crazy, it's Casey's. See store for details.
Hi, we're your friends who get super excited about the holidays.
We sure are, or this isn't the ugliest holiday sweater ever.
People think we're happy because we love peppermint lattes.
Or catching snowflakes on our tongues.
But really, it's because
it's Holiday Millionaire Raffle Season!
It's your best odds to win $1 million.
That's dollars, not twinkling lights, but that would be great too.
Play the Kansas Lottery Holiday Millionaire Raffle. Get excited.
See kslottery.com for details. Kids are back in school, so schedule your project today. With Powell Exteriors KC Easy Financing, pay no interest until 2027. Whether a deck or new roof, go to PowellExteriorsKC.com now to schedule your free estimate. It's the power of KC. Powell Exteriors KC, Kansas City's exteriors experts.
Football is back, and Underdog is the best place to select entries and win money all season long. And you can play right now in Missouri. Playing an Underdog is easy. Just choose whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stat lines, touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Get your entries right, and you could win up to 1,000 times your cash and play with as little as $1. It really is that easy. So select those Sundays and find which stats you want to go higher than lower than over at Underdog. Download the app today and sign up with promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org.
This October, the whole family can ride along for the wildest weekend in Kansas City. PBR Outlaw Days, October 3rd through the 5th at T-Mobile Center. Cheer on your Kansas City Outlaws as they battle the world's best on the dirt, under the lights. KansasCityOutlaws.com. Get your tickets now at PBR.com. Kansas City Outlaws, all grit and no quit.
It's time. Time for the pro to get everything for the job delivered. Large orders of lumber, doors, windows, paint, plumbing, anything the job needs, all from one partner. Get it today with same-day delivery. Get it tomorrow with next-day delivery on 50,000 plus products. Or get it on your timeline with scheduled delivery on everything from framing to flooring. It's time to get your whole job, all your jobs delivered. Ask about all our new delivery options at the Pro Desk. The Home Depot Pro, it's about time.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Is your everyday congestion preventing you from enjoying life's big moments? Try Vicks Sinex Saline today and get yourself back in the action. Vicks Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion with a gentle ultrafine mist. Sinex Saline's drug-free, no-mess formula instantly moisturizes and soothes dry, irritated nasal passages for quick and effective relief. Get back to enjoying life's big moments to the fullest without having to worry about everyday congestion holding you back. Just Sinex, breathe, use as directed.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
I'm Jordan Robinson, host of the new podcast, The Women's Hoop Show. Each episode, I'll be joined by a rotating group of women's basketball experts to talk WNBA, college hoops, the new Unrivaled League, and the shifting landscape of the sport. The game is growing, and so are we. Listen to and follow The Women's Hoop Show and Odyssey podcast, available now for free on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Welcome back to the Drive. Jay Binkley, Chis Uno Cero. This Labor Day, Chiefs in action on Friday. We get NFL football on Thursday night as well with the Eagles because, well, they won the Super Bowl last year. Good for them. So they get to play the opening game, get to play the Cowboys without Micah Parsons. Good for them. But the Chiefs go in Brazil on YouTube. Once again, the NFL using the Kansas City Chiefs for the streaming partners want the Kansas City Chiefs. YouTube did. Netflix wants the Chiefs. Like first that Netflix game was Chiefs. Like Amazon Prime, first Amazon Prime game was the Chiefs. First Peacock playoff game was the Chiefs. So they all continue to utilize the Chiefs. But can they go to 4 straight? Can they match that 90, 91, 92, 93 Bills season by getting back to 4 straight Super Bowls? However, with the caveat, because they didn't win any of them.
Yeah, that's the tough part. Look, I don't want to belittle that part because I think a lot of people, especially here, will be like, oh, well, you lost 4 straight Super Bowls. It's really hard to get into 1 Super Bowl, let alone going to 4 straight. I mean, we don't see that many teams go to 2 straight.
Well, it's 2 lifelong Kansas Cityans, Chris. You and I waited a long time for them to even go to 1.
Yeah, I know, right?
Our whole lives.
Yeah. I wasn't sure I was going to see it. Because, like, the best chance I think they really had, aside from, like, the 93 season, was, like, the 03 season.
But 93 was fun, man, because you were in the AFC title game in 94 there in January, and so you get excited about it. Then, of course, the Bills, in their little rampage towards the Super Bowls, beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, but, like, that was –
and Joe Montana.
That was the closest you had come. I think the 03 season, I thought they had a chance if they didn't play the Colts. That's why I was rooting for the Broncos that year. I was like – I do not want to play Peyton Manning because, look, I think we all knew what was going to happen if Peyton walked into Arrowhead, and that's exactly what happened. It is really hard to get to 4 straight Super Bowls, and the Chiefs, I think, have a great chance to do it. I would put money on them doing it because I think they have a good formula that they have. But at the same time, I also want to, like, preface this and let people know what the Chiefs are trying to do is something that only one other franchise has ever done. And it's really, really hard to get back to the Super Bowl again after you go to one, let alone go to one for the 4th straight year. So be ready in case something crazy happens in the playoffs, but I would put my money on the Chiefs getting back to it.
And why wouldn't you? It's like what Kyle Brandt said, you know. Why are you picking somebody else? Is there a reason for it? Like if someone wrote down the reason and said, well, no Rice and no Jalen Royals in week 1, you're like, okay, it was viable, but they did it last year because Rice gets hurt in game 4 against the Chargers. Hollywood Brown never played a snap till the end of the year where he got his 9 catches. So they went a huge chunk of the season without your Rice and without Hollywood Brown. And it took Xavier Worthy, a first-round pick, to finally have pressure on him because he didn't really have a ton of pressure when you're sitting there with Hollywood Brown that's got the same skill set and Rashee Rice and his development and what he was going to be in year 2. But it's going to be a lot of relying on Xavier Worthy in game 1. And keep in mind, 823 yards led the Chiefs in yardage last year from receivers. And Kareem Hunt was actually the leading running back, a little over 700 yards for the Chiefs last year, and they still won 15 games and went to the Super Bowl because clearly stats don't matter with this team, wins do.
And part of that, a lot of that has to do with the defense, keeping teams at bay so you can, be able to grind out really tough, close games. We saw last year, what was it like? Was it like 9 straight games they won by 1 score, something like that?
It 10 and 1-on-1 score games, or they won 10 straight one score. But the 1 score games, but the bottom line is they were winning them.
Yeah, they were taking care, and that's the thing about it is like we watch enough football to know that there's very little room for error. And yet we still see the Chiefs go out and throw out double-digit win seasons every year. The last time they were single digits was 2014 when the last time they didn't make the playoffs. And they're still consistently winning double-digit games every season, getting back to the playoffs. And then, now we're seeing them advance to the Super Bowl pretty regularly. I don't want people to take that for granted, but it's like the formula's working. And there really isn't anyone else in the AFC that we're seeing that's really like creating any sort of issues for the Chiefs long term to be able to succeed in the playoffs. Like, I don't know how much confidence I don't have a lot of confidence in the Ravens to be able to interrupt the Chiefs. The Bills, I think, have a chance because I think they have a great chance every year. I think they push the Chiefs to the limit every single year. But, man, like, who else? Like, I don't believe in the Bengals. Like, not with their defense the way it is.
No, you don't think about it. That's why the Bengals, I thought, should have been the team to trade for Micah Parsons because, well, one, they're cheap, so they wouldn't have done it. But they can back away from doing the draft because they have been the first team with the last 2 first-round picks, the last team, actually, to sign said first-round pick. So what would have hurt them? But, no, the Chiefs actually went on a streak of 15 going back 2023 to 2024. One-score games, that gets over-exaggerated to me, especially in the NFL, because there were times where the Chiefs did kneel on the ball at the end of the game where they could have scored. But, of course, they're watching the clock and taking the clock out of it, let the team go ahead and get what's most important is a win because nobody goes back and looks. You go back in 3 years, you can go back to Chiefs' schedule in 2024 and go, doesn't matter. They won. Who cares? I mean, not even talk about the Broncos' blocked field goal at the end. Like, eventually that game's going to be subsided and just, hey, they won the game, and not talk about it. But one-score games in the NFL, that's how a lot of NFL games end. Winning by 10 points and more, that's a luxury because the NFL, these teams are good. And for the Chiefs to continue being good like they are in a league where everybody is good and the best of the best is playing is tremendous. And that's why I think Andy Reid played his best year coaching last year, even though a Super Bowl loss, because you dealt with an entirely different team than you had in St. Joe. I call them the St. Joe Chiefs. Because the St. Joe Chiefs last year, not this year, but the year before, when they were airing it out downfield to Worthy and Brown and Rice, that wasn't the team they had on the field. Like, it was great in St. Joe. They looked great. They were airing it out, and they're going to throw deep. Well, life happened, and they weren't able to do that.
And I think that's a great point about the coaching aspect to it. And that's the reason why, like, I think you should still give the Chiefs the benefit of the doubt when it comes to them going back to the Super Bowl again. Andy should have won Coach of the Year last year. And I know, like, that might sound crazy to some. He should have won last year because, as you just brought up, he had a completely different offense.
Totally different team. He coached a different team than he left St. Joe with.
Like, immediate first drive of preseason, Hollywood Brown, 1 catch, breaks his collarbone. He's done till Christmas. And then after that, Rashee Rice gets hurt against the Chargers week 4. Completely different offense at that point. You thought you were going to be able to throw the ball down the field. They were trying all the first 4 weeks of the season to chuck the ball down the field to Xavier Worthy. And, between, his issues with, like, sideline awareness and also the fact that everyone was expecting them to do that and there wasn't anyone else to distract them from it because you were losing receivers throughout the month of September and August and September, like, they were completely different, and they had to basically redo their offense in October when Rashee went down. And now you had to run short game, and basically Xavier Worthy just became a screen receiver.
You call Kareem Hunt off the couch.
Yeah. Like, you literally called him up and said, okay, we need you to be our starting running back because you lose Pacheco in week 2.
Andy Reid's call, you still in shape? Yeah, Coach, I am. All right, get to Kansas City.
Yeah, and so you had to play ball control. Basically, they were playing Marty ball for most of last year.
They were 31st in the NFL in air yards, 25 yards or more.
Yeah.
31st.
Yeah, like that was the lowest yards per attempt for Mahomes' career. And not only that, I think they were like, 1 or 2 in time of possession last year? Completely different tempo than what you're used to playing with Patrick Mahomes. You were, 17th, I think, in total offense last year, or 17th in scoring last year. And yet you still dominated the AFC, got the 1 seed, hosted playoff games to get back to your 3rd straight Super Bowl.
And Tyquan Thornton's here. I get it. He can take the top off the defense. We saw it with the 58-yard completion in the preseason with Mahomes. So that's good. You always just want to see your quarterback have his weapons, though. I mean, that's the one thing with Mahomes. Can you imagine what he can do with a full complement of weapons? That's why when people look at last year's stats, and they'll say, well, the stats were down from Patrick Mahomes. Well, that's fine. But take the number 1 and number 2 receiver and the number 1 running back off teams and a tight end that's, quote, doesn't have it anymore. Take all that into the equation and see if other quarterbacks will put up those kind of numbers. I'll remind people, when Patrick Mahomes threw for 5,000 yards, the 2 seasons he did, Chris, that defense was last in points against and then 16th in points against those 2 years that he did it. You're not going to have that every year.
And let's not also forget that the Chiefs had left tackle issues from the very beginning. Like, the guy they thought was going to be their starting left tackle got benched in the middle of the second game because of how bad he was. And then you brought him back later on against Denver, and you benched him again because he was bad. And you were like, we would much rather have this injured backup left tackle out here playing because we think he gives us a better chance than our starting left tackle because we don't think this guy can play this position at this level. I think a lot of people and I think the left tackle point, I think, is really, really overlooked by a lot of people. And I think if Josh Simmons is able to show us what he's shown us in preseason and training camp, when they start playing games for real on Friday, if he looks like that on Friday, I think we're going to have a lot more explosive plays on the field this year, even without Rashi. Like, even without Rashi, I still think you can get explosion from Tyquan Thornton and Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown because of the fact that Mahomes can hold on to the football for longer. And we know, like, Mahomes, he loves holding on to the football for 4 or 5 seconds, waiting for guys to break off their routes so that he can improvise. So.
That's where that team chemistry comes into effect. And he's got that with these guys.
He loves that. Like, that's like one of his favorite things. And it's one of the reasons why, like, he was such a great quarterback when he had Tyreek. It's because he also had Eric Fisher and Orlando Brown Jr., who were pretty good. You know, not great, but pretty good. Good enough to where you could trust them to, for the most part, hold their blocks for like 4 or 5 seconds, give Mahomes time to improvise. You haven't had that the last couple years because you had Donovan Smith, and, you know, Donovan Smith was in his 30s and just wasn't that same dude anymore. And then last year you kind of you tried out, like 4 different left tackles, and your best option was a short-armed guard. And, you know, the minute you actually played a team that had a great defensive line that could pressure without blitzing, you got smoked. Like, yeah, that's a pretty tough situation for you to overcome.
Because you have a quarterback like that, he needs the protection. That's why the Chiefs, when Kingsley didn't work out at tackle, when you threw that second rounder at him, and then you have to go back in the first round and do it again, especially when the free agent tackle market wasn't there, man. I mean, Jalen Moore is one of the top 3 tackles in free agency, and they go out and get him. But that not necessarily was the answer for this team. Like, it needed to be Simmons working out. Like, that needed to work out, and so far it has.
Yeah, and so that's the reason why I think that helps the Chiefs out a lot, because if they can get back to some of the stuff they were doing when their offense was great, then you help out your defense more because they can have a little bit more room for error. Because, I mean, last year, the defense, they couldn't afford to make mistakes in many of those games because it was so close. You couldn't afford to have a really bad DPI. You couldn't afford to have a defensive holding in many of those crucial situations. Like, imagine if the defense would have made a mistake on that 4th down at the end of the AFC Championship game where, was it Kincaid dropped the would-be
Or not
first
knowing
down?
that Josh Allen moves to the left on 4th and 1.
Like, just imagine if you have that situation and you get a bad defensive penalty. We're not talking about 3 straight. We're probably not talking about 3 straight Super Bowl appearances for the Chiefs. That's how little the room for error is for the Chiefs.
It's a small margin of error, and of course, blocking the field goal because of something you saw on film against Denver.
Right. That's another one. Or in the case of the Raiders game at Arrowhead, a little lucky because of the fumble there.
Yes, because the Raiders. They find a way to lose games. It's a perfect example of a team that has a win right in front of them, but finds a way to lose, because bad teams do find a way to lose. Good teams find a way to win. So can they go to 4 straight? I think to bet against them would be ridiculous for a team that's gone to 3 straight. Again, teams don't do this. You talk about Andy Reid should have been coach of the year. He's only won it once, believe it or not. Once. Matt Nagy has as many coach of the years as Andy Reid does. Kevin Stefanski has
2.
Nagy just got 1. Stefanski's got 2. Stefanski's got 2, yeah. So what they're saying is you have to suck and then be good. See, Andy Reid just hasn't sucked. His worst year was 2 games over 500 and 14. They didn't make the playoffs. That's his worst year in Kansas City.
That's the reason why I don't care about Coach of the Year.
But here's the one thing. Chris, he's made 7 AFC title games, right? He went to 5 NFC title games, right? That's 12 out of his 26 years coaching. Andy Reid's like at a 46% clip of going to a title game as a head coach, AFC or NFC. That's insanity, isn't it? What is this? Is this Reid's 26th year, isn't it? So it's 26 years and he's gone to 12 of them. That's a 46% clip. So Andy Reid's gone to the AFC or NFC title game 46 freaking % of the years he's been a head coach. That is an insane level. And to bet against somebody that basically a coin flip, basically going down and playing roulette at Argosy Harrah's or Hollywood Casino and betting on black or red. Yeah, it's eventually going to hit or green once in a while and 0 and 00. But that's essentially making a red or black bet on a roulette.
I know, and that's really crazy when you consider the fact that, most coaches will never get to the conference championship game. And the ones that do generally only get there once in their career, win or lose. And then, if they go to the Super Bowl, obviously, maybe that's the only time they ever go to the Super Bowl, which for Andy, it's 6 times in his career he's been to a Super Bowl?
5 in Kansas City, once in Philly.
Once in Philly, so 6, yeah. Like, you just don't see that many coaches who make it to multiple in their career, let alone 6 in their career.
But 46% of the years he's coached, he's been in a title game. That's Belichick level, honestly. That's Belichick level. And there's the reason why Andy Reid's number 2 all time in postseason wins. Number 1 is Belichick with 31, Andy Reid with 28. Andy Reid's going to retire as the winningest NFL coach, most wins ever from any coach in the NFL history, because Belichick's in college now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, unless Belichick has a really great run in his probably 1 year at UNC and he gets an NFL job.
But he's 73.
He is 73, but I still think he wants to go to the NFL if he can.
Well, maybe he can.
I think he really wants to pass up Don Shula's all-time wins record.
But Andy Reid sits 4th all-time in wins, so at number 2 all-time in postseason wins. He'll get there. He could get there this year and be the record holder for NFL postseason wins. That's why it's tough to bet against somebody like that when you throw that out there. Or Mahomes has 17 postseason wins. The only guy with more is Tom Brady. That's it. That's the list. Brady, Mahomes. Mahomes has the second most touchdown passes in the postseason with 46. Only second to Tom Brady. They're 1 and 2, right? And you have a coach that's gone to 46% of the title games he's been head coach. Again, come up with a good argument why you're not picking him. Because those numbers right there, if you're a poker player, those are the numbers you go with to win titles.
And here's the thing. If you think the Bills are a better team this year or the Ravens are a better team and you pick them to beat the Chiefs, fine. My issue is the people who are, the Chiefs are not going to make the playoffs this year. The Broncos are going to win the AFC West, which is like kind of becoming like the trendy pick in the West is the Broncos. Not even the Chargers, the Broncos.
Oh, yeah, the new Chargers.
Yeah, it's just like, look, if you don't think the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl this year, I think that's a perfectly valid point because it is very hard to win the Super Bowl.
You went from 1970 to 94 without a title
That's
game.
what I'm saying. It's really hard to do that. It is really hard to win a Super Bowl in one single year, let alone to try to win 3 out of 4. So I understand that. If you just think that there's some deficiencies on this Chiefs team that'll prevent them from getting there, I can understand that. But a lot of the hot taking that people have about this team not, being one of the teams
like,
is
tell me
overrated.
the why. I see all those times, like, all through the years doing the post-game show, I say, fire Andy Reid. Well, who do you want then? Give me the name of 10 names. Give me just 5 names. Somebody have more. So give me 5 names. It's the same way as this. Give me the reasons why. Tell me the reasons why. And if you say Rice is not going to play and all this, okay, well, they didn't have him last year for a good chunk of the season. What's your next reason?
Yeah, I mean, and that's another thing too. Is like a lot of those.
What's
people,
your next one?
A lot of those people are going off of feeling as opposed to logic.
You know, the last decade, Chris, you've been here for what, a decade, probably more.
12.
So you've been here 12 years. You started around when I did. I mean, maybe a little bit longer.
A little bit after.
It was essentially around the same time.
Right.
All right. So in the last decade, the last 10 years, you know what the Chiefs' record is against the Chargers, the Broncos, and the Raiders?
A lot to a little.
17-3 against the Chargers. 17-3 against the Raiders. 17-3 against the Broncos. That's the Chiefs' record in the last 10 years. That is send Father's Day cards to Arrowhead Stadium for the Chiefs because they're their daddy.
Not only that, but the Chiefs have lost one game.
And Mahomes undefeated on the road in the division.
Yeah, he's lost. No, they lost to the Broncos in Denver.
But Mahomes starts.
Mahomes started that game, didn't he?
No, he
in
didn't play.
Denver.
The last game of the year he didn't play.
No, I'm talking about 2 years ago.
Oh, that was the one. The 19-1.
Yeah,
19-1.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm
19-1.
saying. I know he's lost one in
Just
Denver.
won 19-1, yeah.
But he has not lost in Vegas, and he has not lost in L.A.
But 17-3 against every single division opponent.
Right.
That's in the last 10 years. That's insane.
And that's
16 straight against the Broncos. Went back to Alex Smith.
Not only that, but if you look at like Andy's record overall in Kansas City in the division, I don't know why you would pick anyone but the Chiefs when even without Mahomes, he was still really good.
46% of the time.
Yeah.
Dude is in the title game.
He was still really good. The Chiefs were still really good in the division before Mahomes was here. Like, people forget they'd won 2 straight conference title games before Mahomes took over as the starter.
You know what's insane? So
I mean, not conference title, but they had won the AFC West 2 straight years before Mahomes took over.
Here's an insane number for you. So Andy Reid's been to 6 Super Bowls, right? He's coached in the NFL for 26 years. This will be year 27. You know how many times he's been in the Super Bowl? What's the percentage of times Andy Reid has been there? 23%. That means almost a quarter of the time, dude is in the Super Bowl. That is insanity for a coach's numbers. And it's not like 1 or 5 years or 10 years. No, 26 freaking years. 23% of the time, Andy Reid's been in the Super Bowl. That's insanity.
Yeah, and when he retires, you know, obviously if he has that record for postseason wins, then I think you can make a really strong case for him being the GOAT. I'm not quite there right now, but I think if he gets that postseason wins record, I think you can start making that case for him.
Hey, and listen, the Chiefs helped them out there when it was Brady versus Mahomes, that AFC title game that D4 jumped off sides. If the old rules were there, because remember, Mahomes didn't get to touch the ball in overtime.
Right.
Tom Brady wins the toss, wins. The rule was changed when it happened to Josh Allen. When it happened to the crying Buffalo Bills, the rules got changed. It's what happened. People don't realize that, but the Buffalo Bills, all their crying they do has got several rules changed in the NFL. It's not the Chiefs. It's not the Chiefs and the officiating and everything nationally. People want to say it's the Chiefs. No, it's the Buffalo Bills. That's who's been the main problem for the Chiefs. And honestly, when they played Tom Brady in the Super Bowl, you know, there's so many Super Bowls. You go back and forth, and man, if they just lost 1 or 2 games here or there, which the Chiefs could have been the factor in those games, the Super Bowls are a lot closer between Brady and Mahomes and between Belichick and Andy Reid. Coming up next, though, Rashee Rice suspension, what's it matter? Obviously, we're looking at Jalen Royals. He's probably going to be out in week 1. What difference will it make for the Chiefs?
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
At Busey, banking is about more than numbers. It's about relationships. For over 150 years, we've been helping individuals, families, and businesses reach their goals with personalized service and local decision-making. Whether you're opening your first account or planning your next big move, we're here with the tools and support to help you move forward with confidence. Busey Bank, your partner for life's moments, both big and small. Member FDIC.
Brew Brothers at Harris, Kansas City, now open. Dine on mouth-watering appetizers, then feast on one of our 6 American Wagyu burgers, including the Bacon Jam Burger and Blazing Burger. Wash it down with your favorite ice-cold beverage, all while watching the game on one of our 45 TVs. Dine in or carry out. Brew Brothers at Harris, Kansas City always hits the spot. Brew Brothers and Brew Brothers Express are now open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-BETS-OFF.
Men, summertime is here. And that means vacations, summer barbecues, outdoor parties, camping, beaches, and so much more. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're like many men, you may not be feeling like yourself this summer. Perhaps your energy is low and you aren't sleeping well. Maybe your workouts aren't as good as they used to be. And if what I'm describing is you, it's very likely you're suffering with low testosterone. But low T doesn't have to affect you anymore. Just call Heartland Men's Health, get treated, and see how it changes your life. If you're like most men, you'll feel so much better. Deeper sleep, improved vitality and clarity, greater strength and energy, and an enhanced sex drive as well. So call us. Just $99 gets you a PSA and T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Rally House. Shop every team in town, college and pro. Come on, it's time to go.
The season starts at Rally House. From jerseys and hats to tumblers for game day, it's where outrageous selection meets every fan's style.
Kansas, Missouri, Kansas State, Chiefs and Royals make KC great. Rally House, Rally House. It's your city, it's your house, it's the Rally House.
Level up your fandom in-store or online at rallyhouse.com.
Hey folks, I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth. Why not start today?
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Today, we're constantly taking photos and videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone? What about the memories tucked away on aging VHS tapes, film reels, or in fading photos?
These cherished memories are fading away with time, vulnerable to threats like heat, moisture, and mold. But fear not, there's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Nick. Together we founded Legacy Box over a decade ago with one mission, to bring your memories into the 21st century.
It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. Legacy Box transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click.
Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands.
Don't let your childhood fade away on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments.
Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/value and unlock 50% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value.
This afternoon, expect a high of 70 with a chance of showers and thunderstorms.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Welcome back. Have some college football on again tonight. Always this weekend, so great. The Labor Day weekend. Get college football before you splash into the NFL and get both. But it's a big college football. Like I said, go do your honeydews before. Chris kind of did on the Seattle trip that he's back from. By the way, the Royals.
I mean, I wouldn't call that a honeydew, but
it was a fun trip for you. You went out there and saw the Royals' enemy, the Mariners.
I didn't. Yeah, okay. I thought you said I saw the. Yeah, no, I did see him. I was rooting.
You saw the big dumper.
Yeah, it was a nice stadium. It was a cool stadium. I wouldn't say it's a nice.
Yeah, those fans are nuts out there.
Oh yeah, no, it was like Wednesday afternoon. There had to be at least 30,000 people in that stadium
Shocker.
on a Wednesday afternoon in Seattle. Yeah.
But anyway, we have the college Royals off night tonight. Then the Angels for 3 in Kansas City. Carter Jensen gets one of the call-ups for the Royals, and Jack gets taken off the injured list. Carter Jensen, man, how cool is that? Park Hill High School to the Kansas City Royals. That's fun, Chris. That's fun when it's a local kid. It's one thing to play for a team you like or grew up rooting for. It's another when you actually come from that freaking town. I don't know Cameron's from St. Joe and all that. This dude's from Kansas City.
I mean, St. Joe is what, 45 minutes?
Oh, listen, St. Joe's close enough, but Park Hill, man, that's in the metro.
Yeah, but still, I mean,
it's cool on both ends. But this dude's from KC.
I would count Noah Cameron in that.
We're counting Noah Cameron.
We can include Noah Cameron.
But Carter, you can really count. Dude's just right there by the airport.
I mean, I'll say this: he better be good because you remember what they did to Bubba Starlin when he wasn't good.
I think it's a little bit different. Bubba was an interesting deal.
He was hyped up. He was really hyped up.
The one thing you didn't want to see is Bubba go to like the Cubs or something and like dominate. And then you're like, oh, this dude, you know, an Albert Pujols situation again.
I understand that.
Because Albert Pujols ruined everybody's GM thoughts.
Right. I don't think that's why you should draft a player though. Because you don't want him to be the next Albert Pujols story there. I don't think that's
unfortunately that did go through people's minds though.
Oh, I know it did. I guarantee it did. That's the reason why I think the Royals took Bubba Starling is because they were like, oh, we don't want to miss on the next Albert Pujols that's in our own backyard. And
well, less fanfare for Carter Jensen, but regardless,
yeah,
he's in Kansas City, and you get to see some more Jack.
Yeah, Kuderna's from here, right? Too, right? I think
not in high school. I
thought he did. I might be wrong about that. I think the Royals have another guy that's in their system that's from here. But I thought it was Kuderna.
I have to look that one up.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
We have to look that one up. But regardless, Rasheed Rice out for 6 games. You and I differ on when we want to see it.
Yeah.
I would have rather seen it towards the end of the
Shawnee Mission, Kansas.
Is it Shawnee Mission he's from? Okay.
Yeah, he's from here. Yeah, that's what I thought. I could have sworn
he go to
was
South?
from here.
Or does it say?
Let me confirm this one. I know he was from. It says Shawnee Mission.
There we go. Shawnee's fine. Well, how about Mitchell Tinsley? How about Mitchell Tinsley?
He played at Blue Valley Southwest.
Oh, Blue Valley Southwest. How about Mitchell Tinsley? That just made the Bengals 53. Dude played at Lee Summit High School. A couple years younger than Drew Lock.
We're not rooting for him.
No, but
we're not rooting for him.
He's a local kid.
It
is
cool that he made It is cool to see him make an NFL roster. Just the wrong team.
Hey, he once put up 1,400 yards with his quarterback of Bailey Zappi. Remember the old Zapster? He's now Brown.
Zapster.
The Zapster.
Is he on their practice squad?
I think so, yeah. He's with the Browns practice squad. But when Zappi was in Western Kentucky, Mitchell Tinsley threw up 1,400 yards for him. Mr. Lee Summit High School. I like seeing the local guys do well. And, of course, Houston drafted, 3 of them?
Yeah, they
from
did.
The area?
Yeah, what was it?
Well, Jalen Noel from Park Hill.
Yeah, they got Jalen Noel. They got Ariante Ursery from Ruskin, high school.
And Graham Mertz.
Yeah.
Blue Valley North. So Houston Texans were active
Florida
with
Gator.
Kansas City. Yeah, active with Kansas City guys.
Yep.
Rasheed Rice, you're okay with it being at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, and we talked about this on the Character Concerns podcast. If you guys want to listen to that, make sure you download, subscribe.
And we appreciate it too.
Because
every time we put it out, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce do something like get married or something.
Like get engaged and whatnot.
They'll have a baby next time.
Yeah, that'd be real quick. But I preferred. No, we differed on this. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. I preferred the start of the season because I think continuity is the most important thing you can have going throughout the season. And when you say, "Hey, we're going to have you play the first 4 games, then you get suspended 6 games, then you come back," I thought that now you're interrupting the continuity of the offense. And I would much rather you be able to stack those wins week to week by making sure that he can be out there, provided he's healthy. I think momentum is important in sports, and I think that in the case of Rasheed, it's like we know he can do it. It's just like I want week to week, everybody knows what they're going to do. And then in the middle of the season, you decide, oh, actually, he's going to be out for 6 weeks. Let's change everything up and redo our offense completely. I mean, it's tough. We saw the Chiefs do that last year when Rasheed went down with injury, and it was a bit of an adjustment. And so I just think it's easier to start the year running the same kind of offense you were running last year, but probably a better version because I think they have more talent. And then you add Rasheed in mid-October. And now the rest of the year, you don't have to worry about it. You can continue running the offense.
And they've been so good in September. Mahomes like 83% winning percentage. But I will say this: 5 of the first 8 games are primetime. Five of the first 8 are primetime. It's never happened in the history of the NFL.
And it's a tough schedule. Like
no,
the first 3 of the first 4 teams are playoff teams.
The Chargers standalone game in Brazil on YouTube, right? The Eagles game is a 3:25, but that's going to be a national game because it's Chiefs and Eagles. Still a national game. Giants will be a Sunday night football game
and that's
the following week.
That's the Giants. That's
great pass rush, though. Great pass rush.
Yeah.
Give them their pass rush. They have
Abdul
that.
Carter, yeah.
Then the Ravens, after that, it's an afternoon window. But again, that's a nationwide audience at that point. Then the following week, believe it or not, the Jaguars is a Monday night game that they're going to have. Then week 6, you get Sunday night against the Lions. So you have a lot of primetime games. And you hope it's not going to derail the start. Like you want a fast start. That's my only thing is fast start, give Jalen Royals time to get acclimated in the offense. And then by the time Rice is suspended, you get Jalen Royals up to speed, knows the offense. Well, it doesn't look like it's going to be the case because Jalen Royals is going to miss week one.
Maybe at least week one.
At least week one. But by the way, listen to this. So Andy Reid said this about Jalen Royals on Friday when I was in here Friday. By the way, our text line is down if you're trying to text. It's been down since last week, not just today. It's been down the last couple of days.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was trying to get in there.
No, the text line's down. It was down starting Friday. I heard Dusty mention or something. I did Cody and Gold Friday, but it was down. It's down again today. But listen to what Andy Reid said about Jalen Royals' injury. See, that whole thing there, Chris, as you listen to that, well, first of all, everybody gets hurt, works, right? You work to get back. But then there was no definitive, you heard at the end, though, it's kind of, there's no definitive, well, he'll be back for the Eagles. You didn't hear that. He'll be better already down the road. If you break your leg right now, I would say, you know what? Chris can be ready to go down the road, right?
Yeah.
Like there was no definitive answer when he's coming back.
Why does my leg have to be broken?
Well, just use an example.
Use someone hypothetical.
Drew Nixon.
Yeah, okay,
Drew
that's
Nixon.
better.
But the
He's
bottom
a
line
Bengals
is,
fan,
he
yeah.
could have said, "Oh, I'll be ready for the Eagles game," but didn't say be ready down the road. So when's down the road? And who knows? That was interesting when he said that.
Andy's one of those guys that he gives you the information, but he packages it in such a bland and
because there's so much to digest from what down the road means.
Right, and you know,
because that could be in week 2, that could be week 10,
and sometimes he gives you like maybe too much information if you can like read the context clues, and then sometimes he kind of he kind of sets the expectation further out, and then when the player comes back earlier, it's like, oh, this is actually really great because this is earlier than we expected based on how Andy talked about it. So, I mean,
we just don't know when he's coming back. Put it that way. We don't know.
But, I mean, it wouldn't shock me based on how he's talking. It wouldn't shock me if next week Jalen Royals is good to go.
The good news was, with all the talk about Jalen Royals going on the IR, which could have been, he's back in 4 games.
Right.
The good news is he hasn't been put on it. And so that's the you didn't hear what's the best news, which is, because he could have said, well, you know, we're going to put him on the IR or whatever, so he's out for a game. He didn't say that, so that part's important.
But I will say this. Even if he does come back next week, he probably is not going to play a lot.
Probably going to be a lot of Juju and Taekwon.
Right, that's what I'm saying. This is going to be Juju time right here because,
and Nico's your kick returner.
This is the reason why they brought back Juju, because you want someone that knows your offense. You want someone – I think the Chiefs were expecting a suspension at the beginning of the season.
They've done a lot of bring guys back lately.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, Derek Clyde's back. I mean, they're just bringing the whole crew back. But
McColl's not back, though. He's been back before, though.
We'll see.
We'll see.
If we see an IR stint for Jalen Royals, like let's say that knee isn't fine.
And Mike Pennell, by the way, signed with the Bengals practice squad.
He signed with the Bengals practice squad. Probably going to be elevated maybe next week or so. Wouldn't shock me though if they bring back McColl if Jalen Royals has to go on IR for some reason. Let's hope that doesn't happen for Jalen Royals' sake, but it wouldn't shock me at this point.
We'll talk some more Kansas City Chiefs coming up, but there's a big game in Columbia this week. It involves the Jayhawks and the Tigers. Finally get to see them on the football field. We'll just see them this year and next year, and then not till 2031. But regardless, you get a really nice football game with KU and MU this weekend. We'll discuss that next.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison, host of the Random Royals lineup on 96.5 The Fan.
Baseball with the Royals.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri, get ready! The wait is almost over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State, and you can sign up today. New Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets when we launch on December 1st. Download now and place a $5 bet when we go live. DraftKings Sportsbook brings everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code 965 to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. That's promo code 965 in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
This is the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your new home for Royals baseball. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Dane and Hughes here. I've seen a lot of stat lines in my playing days, but these numbers, they caught my attention. Flight by Yingling, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, and all the crisp, refreshing flavor you want in a light beer. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, so you know it's got some serious history behind it. If you're into stats and taste, you're going to love this beer. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer and the official beer of Dane and Hughes. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? You need Jay's Southland Tow Service. They have over 20 years of experience servicing the KC Metro. They specialize in light, medium, and heavy duty, as well as commercial transport and construction equipment. Keep this number handy, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments, Jay's Southland Tow Service. There's nothing they can't do, so be in the know and use Jay's Southland Tow.
Hey, almost Andy Reid here. It's been an honor to give back to the community that's embraced me being almost your head coach. Thanks for letting me be part of your team. Renner Garage Door is a teammate of mine that also values the community that they served for decades, always giving back and delivering wins with top brands like Geldon, Amar, and Liftmaker. Need a repair or replacement? Get a free estimate today. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER. I'm Sia and I support Humane World for Animals, formerly called the Humane Society of the United States. Together, we have created a new version of Peter Gabriel's beautiful song, Salisbury Hill, to celebrate Humane World for Animals and everything they do. Enjoy the song and join us in helping Humane World for Animals end animal cruelty.
Oh no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long.
Here we go.
Starting with a Week 1 NFC North rivalry between the Lions and Packers.
And he's in for a touchdown.
Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
Is your everyday congestion preventing you from enjoying life's big moments? Try Vicks Sinex Saline today and get yourself back in the action. Vicks Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion with a gentle ultrafine mist. Sinex Saline's drug-free, no-mess formula instantly moisturizes and soothes dry, irritated nasal passages for quick and effective relief. Get back to enjoying life's big moments to the fullest without having to worry about everyday congestion holding you back. Just Sinex, breathe, use as directed.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Arvis Bank,
believing in the power of serving others.
Our Best Bank believes in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to supporting those who serve our communities. We believe that all communities deserve a financial partner who cares. Our Best. We believe.
You're listening to the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your new home for Chiefs football. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Welcome back, 3 o'clock hour, 96.5 The Fan, The Drive, Jay Binkley, Chis Uno Cero. C-Dot back with you tomorrow. Ben Kuderna, by the way, the Royals prospect we were talking about, with the Blue Valley Southwest. He's the Royals' 7th-ranked prospect at the time. He's 2-7 with the 4.21 in Northwest Arkansas this year. With Omaha, no decisions. 0-0, 12.91 ERA. But Carter Jensen, the Park Hill prospect, is up with the Kansas City Royals at this point. So big congratulations to one Carter Jensen. We don't have the text line today. We said it's down. It's been down for the last couple of days, to be honest with you. Someone on YouTube remind me, Chris, because the show's still on YouTube and Twitch and all that.
You checked YouTube?
Yeah, I did.
You needed to hear some feedback,
No,
so you hopped in the comments?
It's the one way, unless people want to send a pigeon. If they want to send a pigeon.
You were like starved for
If they want to send
reaction.
a singing telegram, send a pigeon, whatever. Or you can go to YouTube. Someone even said it. Says maybe start checking YouTube chat. So there you go. YouTube chat is where it's at, because unless you send us a message any other way or text us personally, which some of you are doing.
Do not text me personally. I'm not going to answer.
Yeah. You're definitely not going to answer next weekend when college football is rolling. KU and MU game. That's going to be fun. Game day's not going there. They're going to the Oklahoma-Michigan game in Norman, Oklahoma.
That's the better match. That's like the best matchup.
It's in Norman,
of the week.
but still like Feinbaum Show and SEC Nation and all that, Marty McGee, they're all going to Columbia for KU and MU. So the battle between Bo Burbula and the battle with Jalen Daniels to commence in Columbia, Missouri. And I'll be honest with you, Chris, it's fun. We're going to get to see it this year. Next year it's in Lawrence. Then you've got to wait, unfortunately, till 2031 for Columbia and Lawrence, 2031 and 32. This is a rivalry that dates back in football to 1891. 1891. Baseball, 1899. Men's basketball, 1907. But it was the fourth longest FBS rivalry going until 2012 when it went dormant. But things started 1891, Chris. But finally, you'll see KU and MU on the football field this Saturday. And, hey, it was fun to see K-State and Missouri go at it. That was fun. It was fun with Mevis kicking that field goal at the end to win it. That's fun. But this Kansas team, believe it or not, has high hopes because I think they're better than what a lot of people are saying they are. And, of course, Missouri with that schedule. Alabama, before they hit the road, they don't ever go on the road, Missouri, till October 18th. And then there was Alabama sitting right there because they lost in Alabama last year, so Alabama's up in Columbia this year. The Tigers get a bye week before Alabama. And let me tell you something. This is not your daddy's Alabama team. So lots in front of both teams.
Actually, it might be your daddy's Alabama team because
depends how old your daddy
they
is.
weren't that good. Because you remember before Nick Saban, they were just
were
a
with
run
the
of
Bear, though. If your dad's Bears age, or grandpa.
Yeah, this is probably your great grandpa because that was like what the 50s.
I don't know how old your dad is, but you know what I'm saying, Chris.
Yeah, no. If we're talking about the
It's
Alabama,
it's not a Shula's team.
Yeah,
Mike Price's team.
If we're talking about pre Nick Saban, they were pretty run of the mill.
This is not Mike Price who took the job from Washington State,
right?
Took the Alabama credit card, went to some strippers at a golf tournament, tell them to roll, baby, roll.
This ain't
Gets
the
fired.
Alabama team from 20 years ago. No, this is probably closer to the Alabama
It's
team
rolling,
from 20
baby.
years ago now. This is the Brody Croyle Alabama Crimson Tide right now.
Regardless, big game for both. Missouri's quarterback situation is solved at this point. It was going to be between Burbula, who transferred from Penn State. He was actually a big part of their team last year, did a lot of packages for him, took over as quarterback in Wisconsin for the comeback for him last year. Unable to play in the playoffs because he decided to transfer because Drew Aller, it says he's coming back to Penn State as quarterback. Bo Burbula wants to play. He saw an opportunity for name, image, and likeness money in Columbia. You can't blame him. It was his chance to play. It was stupid how the NCAA does transfer portal in the playoffs because even with the James Franklin as head coach, and he gave him the blessing to go, which a lot of coaches don't. A lot of coaches don't, but they did with Bo. He comes and he gets a battle with Sam Horn, who's faced injuries with Missouri, had Tommy John because he's a baseball player too. He was drafted in the 17th round by the Dodgers, Chris. The Dodgers gave about $500,000, about $500,000. They said you can still go and play football. Sam Horn gets hurt in game 1, so it's now Perbula's job. He did enough to win the job anyway, but because of injury, it's his job as well. But don't look at just the injury. He won the job. Sam Horn's still pretty good, though.
I think that, and I agree with you on it, this should be a yearly thing. I was not happy when they ended the rivalry. I understood why, because, look, it's emotional. You're worried about the future of the Big 12, and you kind of want to punish the other side for leaving in the case of KU and Mizzou. But, like,
121st meeting.
But, like, look, neither team had a rival like the other one. KU, after Mizzou dipped for the SEC, KU tried their damnedest to create a big rivalry with, like, K-State. And it is a rivalry, but it's not the same thing as Mizzou. It's kind of like
it's Missouri and Arkansas, man.
Yeah, and even Missouri tried to do that with Arkansas and Illinois. And it just doesn't fit the same way because it's like, look, there is real bad blood between Kansas and Missouri fans. Like, real bad blood. That in all sports, like, even in basketball, like, in the occasional time that Mizzou would get a win over KU, it was huge. And Mizzou fans would never let KU fans forget that. And, like, that is great. Like, I grew up in the 90s with in the 2000s with the great rivalry that these two schools had. You know, the 1 and 2 matchup that those two schools had. Great stuff. Like, that's the stuff that we want. And these fans are like really irrational about that rivalry. That's great for the sport. So why you would end it over, you know, getting your feelings hurt because one team decided to leave the conference. I understand, but I don't think it was ever a good reason to stop doing the rivalry. So,
well, it's hypocritical to look at anybody leaving a conference, a coach leaving for another job, or a player jumping in the transfer portal because that's just the way things are done.
It's business, and like if the shoe were on the other foot and KU were the team that the SEC was looking to bring in, KU would have done it in a heartbeat. Like, I think they would have done it in a heartbeat if they had that sort of pull like that. Like, I understand why they were hurt by that and why they decided not to push that rivalry. But look,
that's life, man.
It's for the betterment of the sport that you guys play each other. It's for the betterment of your programs too. Because, like, look, these fans over the years were still taking shots at each other, even though they weren't playing each other. Every time KU would lose at basketball, you know, the first people hopping on social media to talk trash, Mizzou fans. Like, they were the first people to do it. And it was great to watch. And you just didn't have that dynamic. And I love the fact that these teams are going to be playing each other again. And I hope at some point they make it a yearly tradition because, you know, the other, you know, rivalries they've tried to cook up since then, it ain't it.
You can't cook up rivalries like you can't kick up nicknames. Yeah. When someone has a nickname, no, it's got to be inherent. It's got to make sense. It's got to make sense.
Yeah.
Organic makes sense.
Yeah.
KU-MU is just a rivalry.
Yeah, that's the natural rivalry, and they should be playing each other every year. You know, if you want to do it home or away, you want to do a neutral site. I'm kind of privy to the Arrowhead game just because I grew up with them playing each other at Arrowhead every year, and it was really fun to watch because it's not like obviously not equidistant between the two cities, but still it felt like it was a massive event, even if neither team was really that great. So I'm glad it's back. It's cool to see them, you know, next couple of years play each other in football. Hopefully they make it a yearly thing.
Yeah, because after 2026 in Lawrence, you got to wait till 2031, my friend.
Yeah.
In Columbia, then 2032 in Lawrence. But this is a different looking Jayhawks team. Say it's a different looking Tigers team. It's went back double digits the last 2 years. This is actually not two after runs playing. This is two good football teams playing this game.
How good, we'll see. I mean, I think there's some question marks with both squads, but certainly, at least right now, you know, both have played well. Like last week, they both, you know, blew out their opponents. Looking pretty good, at least thus far.
Yeah, Missouri plays Central Arkansas, an FCS team. Kansas completely blew out, you know, FCS Wagner. But did win a game against Matt Enns, the East Coach, North Dakota State. Did beat Fresno State. He went to the Bowls last year, a bowl game, and KU beats them in week 1. But Jalen Daniels, man, the quarterbacks can be on display in this one because I like Bo Pribula. I don't know how you feel about Bo, but I love watching him play.
I got to see him first because this is a guy that, again, like my thing is always this: like if you got to transfer out to get playing time, then it's like, okay, let me see first before we start, going out there and pronounce you as like a great quarterback because. Man, a lot
but
of
in fairness, most guys do.
Yeah, and a lot of guys do that. But, like, that's the reason why I like to wait and see on a lot of the transfer guys because a lot of these guys aren't very good. And we see guys bounce around a lot because you go from one school to another because you weren't good enough to win the starting job at your previous place, and then you just keep bouncing around. Like, DJ Uiagalelei did that for years.
Yes, he did.
He was Clemson, and then next thing you know, he was at Oregon State, and we talked about him on the Character Concerns podcast, when he was at Oregon State. Okay, he might be a pro prospect at quarterback. And then he decides to stay in college, and he transfers to Florida State, and then it completely falls apart. And I think he just got cut. Was it last week by some NFL team, which that was the Chargers, I think. Might have been the Chargers. Like, some guys just don't have it. So I'm always kind of waiting to see with a lot of these guys because, we've seen a lot of 5-star quarterbacks transfer schools because it didn't quite work out where you were before. Like Julian Sayin, Alabama guy, transferred to Ohio State. We'll see how it works. Didn't look that great week 1, against Texas. So I was like, I tend to be a little skeptical about the transfers initially if you can't beat somebody else.
Well, ESPN Bet has it 6.5-point favorites for Missouri. Caden Green, by the way, goes from guard to tackle. Mixed reviews as far as that switch for Caden Green. I think he's more of a guard than a tackle.
Me too.
But it's imperative from the play there. But Missouri hit that transfer portal hard. Man, Ahmad Hardy comes in, led the Sun Belt in rushing last year. This dude's going to be a stud. Kevin Coleman comes over from Mississippi State, looks to be a stud at the wide receiver position. And then defensively, you look at what Missouri did too. And Damon Wilson comes over from Georgia, gets 2 sacks in that game. Both these teams hit the portal hard.
Well, because you have to. Because it's not like
ask Dabo. He's even doing it at Clemson.
Well, he had to because he was starting to get passed up there by other schools. No, it's like the transfer portal is so important now, and especially if you are not one of those programs that's constantly in the top 10 recruiting classes every year. You better be hitting the portal hard. You better have a really good and organized NIL collective so that you can try to get some of these big-time players. Because, as I just said, like there's a bunch of guys who are like 4 or 5-star talent that they start out one place, maybe the coach gets fired, maybe things just don't work out and they don't like how that program does business, or they feel like they can get a better opportunity elsewhere because there's less competition. That's where schools like Mizzou and KU can really kind of clean up at, because it's not like either of these schools is recruiting at like a really super elite level. Like Mizzou might be able to crack the top 20, every other year or so, but they're not elite. They're not top 10.
Well, all those home games at the beginning, huge. We'll talk more about Missouri KU. Najee Harris, by the way, the running back from the Chargers, they had the little 4th of July accident.
Yeah.
He's been cleared for practice.
Yeah, I saw that.
According to
they were going to do that.
Jeremy Fowler, the Chiefs are preparing for seeing some Najee. Again, Amari and Hampton, first round.
They're prepared for his.
You look at the Raiders, Josh Gentry, first round. So the Chiefs had 2 division opponents draft running backs in the first round. The Broncos went Jahdae Barron, the cornerback out of Texas. Big difference. How do we stop Mahomes? Not through running backs, but I digress. We'll get to that later. Coming next, though, the rest of the college football world reacted to some interesting games that we had in week 1. People are making a big deal that 4 top 10 teams lost. Well, 3 top 10 teams had to lose because they're playing other top 10 opponents. So someone's got to lose those games. So I don't understand the big deal. Yeah, Alabama lost. That was the one that was head scratcher. But Caitlin DeBoer has not exactly been winning games, so it makes a lot of sense. We'll talk more about the college football world next.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
I'm Mitch Holtis, voice of the Kansas City Chiefs. Choosing the best doctor for your eyes is one of the most important medical decisions you'll ever make. Whether you're considering blade-free LASIK, all laser cataract surgery, and premium lens implants, or want a world-renowned doctor to help with your glaucoma, macular degeneration, dry eyes, or diabetes, trust my doctor, Dr. Steven Silverstein. Call Silverstein Eye Centers to make an appointment, 816-358-3600. Experience the best eye care in Kansas City.
That leaf pile is 100 feet tall. Your dad can't handle this. Not without the right equipment.
Yard work piling up? Gear up for fall with John Deere. Get $750 off select mowers, $2,000 off select Gator UVs, and $3,000 off select compact tractors.
Did I hear your dad got a John Deere? Yep, bad day to be a leaf pile.
Gear up for fall at an authorized John Deere dealer, now through September 30th. Learn more at johndeere.com/gearupforfall.
Football's back, and Underdog is the best place to select entries and win money all season long. And you can play right now in the state of Missouri. And playing on Underdog is easy. Just choose whether your favorite player will go higher or lower on certain stats, like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Get your entries right, and you can win up to 1,000 times your cash, and you can play with as little as $1. I love combining entries from multiple sports into one selection to see what I can do. The Underdog app is awesome. Download the app today and sign up with promo code BOB to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5 with promo code BOB. Millions of fans have already won billions making plays on Underdog. Will you be next? Underdog. Make plays, win money. Must be 18 and over and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
You want to see the ring? Here, I have a picture. Wow, look at you. I know, right? Went to Hellsberg and customized the whole thing. Oh, yeah? Yeah, well, I showed them all her inspiration photos, picked the setting, the diamond. It's actually pretty fun. Now for the real hard part, asking her. Well, congrats, buddy. The ring looks awesome.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
The pumpkin spice latte is back at Starbucks. Crafted with our signature espresso and real pumpkin sauce. Then topped with whipped cream, cinnamon, and nutmeg. The PSL. Get it while it's hot or iced. Only at Starbucks.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Your cold is coming. Your cold is coming. When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zycam, the #1 cold shortening brand.
Oh, no, not before my big trip.
The big trip you've been planning is coming up, and so is your cold. But Zycam can shorten your cold and get you back to planning sooner.
Thanks, Revere.
We really should keep Zycam in the house.
Shorten your cold with Zycam.
Take it from America's most revered messenger. Shorten your cold at the first sign with cold shortening products from Zycam, the #1 cold shortening brand. Available in stores or see where to buy at Zycam.com.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Drinking and driving will change your whole world. The next time you're out with friends, consider what would happen if you got pulled over after drinking, like the legal fees or the time in court or a DUI on your record. Your decision to drink and drive could change someone else's world too if you hurt or even kill them in a crash. Instead, what if a decision to call a sober ride changed your world for the better? Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's ocean waves and kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
Car wreck? Get the money you deserve. Mike's got this.
Paid for in client portrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Welcome back, 96.5 The Fan, Jay Binkley, Chis Uno Cero. C-Dot back tomorrow. Straight the C-Dot not too long ago. Got that big documentary about KUMU football series coming on this week. This is a documentary.
Coming out on the 24th.
Yeah, the preview's Wednesday night. So looking forward to that for sure. But regardless, Chris, we had some fun in college football. If you're not diving into it, I mean, come on, man. It's the only show on the night. Missouri, the Royals are off. You got Bill Belichick returning, North Carolina and TCU.
That'll be a
little Josh Hoover going on from TCU. It'll be fun to watch, man. This is a college football weekend.
I don't even care about the game so much as I care about the soap opera around Bill Belichick's life. That to me is the most interesting part about this game.
Isn't he trying to trademark like all these different terms?
It's ridiculous. And it's like, what if they suck? And a year from now, he's getting ready to coach another NFL team for his season to try to see if he can chase down Don Shula's all-time wins.
He's got the legends coming back. They Lawrence Taylor and Peppers and you name it, North Carolina legends like we saw at the U last night.
Yeah, like I said, I don't care about what happens on the field more than I care about what happens off the field. And just to see because if they lose tonight, boy, like the feelings that are going to be there.
It's Manning level hype. It's Manning level hype.
It is. It just feels like we're overhyping a team that might be bowl eligible. Because, like, when they play, because they got Clemson on their schedule, I assume, ACC. Florida State looks like they might be good. I assume they're going to play them. What happens when they play those teams, like real teams, and they get smacked around? Are we like all the stuff that we've heard about him is gonna go away very quickly, and people are gonna be like, oh well, okay, what team in the NFL is he gonna be coaching next year? Like I think that's gonna be the narrative about Bill Belichick and what's happening in his life if things don't go well.
They have Clemson week 6.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's gonna be a wake up call, I think, for them.
No Florida State though.
No Florida State. Okay, I mean the
ACC title game
still got good team. I mean SMU's a good team. That was a team that got to the title game last year. Like they
got to play Syracuse, but Syracuse they were a 10-win team last year, but they look like crap this weekend.
Yeah, and Syracuse also lost some guys, so that makes sense that they would.
It's a winnable schedule, man. TCU, Charlotte, and then Richmond, home of Sean Barber.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a tough schedule to start out, but, I mean, don't be shocked if TCU pulls off this win here. I just think that, like, because this isn't the same team we've watched, like, a couple years ago, don't be shocked if things kind of fall apart. He doesn't have an Amari Hampton to just use as a workhorse back. Like, he doesn't have a Drake May to throw the football.
He's making Najee Harris wait now.
Yeah. Like, that's pretty much, yeah.
But regardless, I felt the Chargers didn't draft to stop the Chiefs. That's who you want to stop. They won the division 9 straight years, so you draft a running back in the first round. They had others too as well. They had 2 first-round picks. But regardless, what stood out to you the most this weekend?
I mean, the biggest story, Arch Manning and his bad performance against Ohio State. We did talk about that on the Character Concerns podcast. You can listen to it right now wherever you listen to podcasts.
Oh, did you drop it already?
I just dropped it. So it's up. It's live. We gave you our thoughts. But I will reiterate again, I don't think we should give up on Arch, but I shouldn't say we. I did not overhype Arch Manning. I was one of the people that was trying to temper expectations on him because this is the guy who could not beat out Quinn Ewers, and Quinn Ewers was cheeks when he played at Texas.
Quinn Ewers is a 7th-round pick that's now the Dolphins' third quarterback. Behind Tua and behind Zach Wilson.
This was a guy that the last 2 years going into the season, people were talking about as a potential first-round pick. And I remember watching the tape on Xavier Worthy after the 23 season.
Yeah, we both did.
And my biggest takeaway was not about Xavier Worthy. It was about how Quinn Ewers is not an NFL quarterback.
Xavier Worthy used to stop and wait for the football.
Yeah,
it was so bad.
He was turning around, and getting hit. And Xavier Worthy probably left like 250, 300 yards at least, and probably 3 or 4 touchdowns on the field because of Quinn Ewers' inability to throw the ball with the right accuracy and timing. So, and there was a time last year where Texas was really trying to bench him for Arch, and Arch didn't give them any sort of evidence that he was a better quarterback than Quinn Ewers. So, look, I think Arch is great talent, and I think Arch will be a great quarterback, but he needs time. He needs time to develop because he's got some holes in his game. His placement is not great. He kind of has that Mahomes instinct early in his career where he wants to chuck the ball down the field, and he's great with the deep ball. But, teams are just going to play 2 safeties, and they're going to dare him to throw the ball into coverage. And so now he has to check down, and it's not something he really wants to do. And it's not really what their offense is set up to do. So he's just not going to be as effective early on until he actually learns how to play the short game. And, you go up against, great defensive coordinators like Matt Patricia, they're going to be able to exploit that because they've coached against guys like Arch Manning who want to just chuck it down the field, and they do a really good job of stifling them.
And the one thing about it, too, is it was going to be overhyped, but you've seen this a lot with game ones. With game ones, not everybody's acclimated up and ready to go. Matter of fact, you would have taken the under on college football big games this weekend on a parlay. You would have come out way ahead on the fact. But the defense is always ahead of the offenses. And it was an NFL defensive coordinator now with Ohio State, Matt Patricia. You remember him in New England. He was defensive coordinator for Ohio State. And there's going to be some learning curves. But the one thing is, everything is so scrutinized nowadays. Like 10 years ago, people would have waited to have an opinion on Manning, not just after one game.
I don't know about that. I think people still would have had an opinion after game 1. I think there was still been a lot of people jumping to conclusions, and there would have been people still hyping him up 10 years ago because we've seen it with other athletes, obviously like LeBron James, where he was really hyped up coming out of high school at St. Vincent St. Mary. So I think we would have still had the same climate.
Maybe so, but it was disappointing. And Jeremiah Smith, the wide receiver, dropped a few passes he probably didn't want to. So, again, it was a slow start for round 1. The LSU-Clemson game, with LSU finally getting off the schneid and winning week 1, which they haven't done since 2019. That was a tough game. LSU going to the Battle of Death Valley. Who's got the real Death Valley, Clemson or LSU? Clemson actually had that name first, to be honest with you, I think.
That matchup was another one where, it definitely looked like the offenses were really rusty, and the quarterbacks didn't. I think both quarterbacks are going to be better. There was a lot of criticism about Cade Klubnik coming out of that game, and I think we talked about when we did previews of quarterbacks on character concerns. I think we both talked about Klubnik as a potential first round pick. Nussmeier seems like he's him, Aller, maybe Manning. We'll see if he improves.
And Sellers. That's definitely top 4 in my opinion.
We'll see about Sellers. I like Sellers, but I'm not quite there yet. But, certainly those 4 guys were in the talk for, first-round quarterback. But
which is good for the Chiefs because it has quarterbacks going, and
you want more.
Gives you more action there at 31 or 32, wherever you think they'll end up.
But Nussmeier was talked about as, maybe the number 1 overall pick at quarterback. And didn't look great, but, was able to go out there and gut out a win against a good team. So it's okay, does he improve throughout the season and give you more tape? Because you see arm talent. The question, though, is, decision-making, not always the most accurate. So, again, week 1, hopefully these guys are able to improve as the season goes along, once you get more into that football form. But, at least early on, both of these guys really weren't that great.
Oh, it's a good day to settle in. Also, you have Kalen DeBoer down in Alabama. Hey, you know how hard it is to replace a legend. It's tough. I mean,
you don't want to be the one that
Nick Saban's office is still at Alabama. It's still at Alabama. His office is still there. So Kalen only has that over his shoulders. Remember the Ron Prince trying to replace Bill Snyder and how well that went? Chris Kleiman's actually doing a good job with it. Ron Prince didn't do such a good job about the sabbatical Bill Snyder took.
Yeah, I would never have taken that job if I was Kalen DeBoer. Dan Lanning was like the top guy for that job.
I still think he could be in the mix for the Chiefs eventually.
Who? Oh, Lanning?
Lanning, yeah.
Yeah, possibly. He's from here, yeah. No,
I know Nagy is, earmarked to be that guy, but don't count out Dan Lanning.
Yeah, don't be shocked if Nagy were to get another job at some point.
Yeah, Dan Lanning from the area, so he's a big Chiefs fan. So
yeah, like I said, I think, and Lanning, I think, made the right decision because I think he realized that's probably not a good job to take right after Nick Saban leaves. But he still sticks around. He's just not the coach.
The dude
anymore.
won 6 national titles there, 7 overall. That's the number 1 coach ever to win national titles. That is going to be hard for anybody.
Like Mike Vrabel knew not to follow Bill Belichick. Like he let Gerard Mayo do his thing.
Yeah, take his hits, and then he'll go in there.
Yeah, and then they blame Gerard Mayo for all that, even though it was a terrible roster. And then he gets let go. And
yeah,
what do you do?
Belichick without Brady was something to see.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you take away a Hall of Fame quarterback
That's
from
Tyquan
almost
Thornton.
Any coach. I think you take away a Hall of Fame quarterback from any coach, it's a little different. But, yeah, no, I do not think he should have stayed up in Washington. He had a nice little gig going, could have got some more money out of it. And then after a couple years or so, after the coach after him gets fired, then you can do it.
Always tough to replace that legend, though.
Yeah, that's why you don't do it. That's why you wait for someone else to do it, and then you follow that guy.
Like replacing Andy Reid's going to be tough too. I mean, it's just
Yeah, that's why.
But you do have Mahomes though. You do have Mahomes.
That's why Dan Lanning might not.
But you got Mahomes though. That's the difference. That's the difference.
That might. Yeah,
it's not Ty Simpson.
It depends. Right? It depends on how long Andy waits until he retires. Because Andy might really be put. He might seriously, if he gets close, because he's not that far off. Now, if he coaches like a few years into his 70s, because what is he, like 67?
Andy Reid is, I think he's right at 66, maybe
66. So, like, if he were to coach a few years into his 70s, he might have a chance.
He is 67. He just turned it this year.
Okay, so like, he could do it if he coached 5-6 more years. I don't know the exact number.
He doesn't turn 68 until next March.
Yeah, so I don't know what the exact number he is off from being the all-time winningest head coach in NFL history.
He's fourth all time.
But I don't know what the number is. I know he's fourth. I don't know what the number is.
Oh, it's a ways to go. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
It's probably not feasible.
Probably like 50, 60 wins or something like that. He'd have to basically do what he's been doing the last.
What he can do is get postseason.
Yeah, I think he's going to.
He's only 3 behind.
I think he'll get postseason. But I think he has if he were to coach like 73. That's a big ask. That's a lot of time for you to be coaching there, and well into your 70s.
He's got 273. Shula's got 328.
Okay, so he'd have to probably coach for 5 more years with double-digit wins. Yeah, like he might do that. He might. I can't say for sure.
Belichick is 26 behind. It's not like it's just easy. You just go right into the NFL and get it. It's going to have to be several years.
It would take him probably 3 years at least of good teams, good football for him to get it. Like Andy, I think has a real shot to do that. Yeah.
Not Brady saving your ass because that's not going to happen.
Oh no, he doesn't have that anymore. He doesn't have that anymore. No. Yeah, no, and on top of that, you would, presumably have Mahomes that entire time. Good.
Yeah. The one thing he's been able to do is Kansas basketball. It's been literally handoff after handoff.
Oh yeah, that's the one. That's the one where you've seen the great coach after great coach. But aside from that, it's tough following the great coach, and that's why you don't do it generally.
You had Notre Dame, Miami last night. Of course, you probably had, I don't know if you watched it, but the Beamer Bowl, Virginia Tech and South Carolina in the afternoon.
Yeah, I didn't get to see the Beamer Bowl. But
Notre Dame, Miami was fun. That was a fun game. It was a very fun game. Of course, tonight you get TCU in North Carolina. But I think people's attention now shifts to Friday night in Brazil.
Well, probably Thursday night.
Then Thursday you get the appetizer for the Chiefs.
You get Thursday night. NFL's back. That game's going to do at least 30 million viewers, I think. For
it's amazing people consume sports. Lee Corso, that was the highest rated college game day
ever.
With him putting the Buckeye hat on. He's barely on. He's barely on at the beginning and at the end.
I turned it on. I don't even watch college game day like that, but I turned it on.
It was such a big deal. Fox even. And keep in mind, it's not as cohesive as the NFL and the partners. But Fox stopped Big Noon Kickoff to show ESPN, and they're competitors for College Game Day and Big Noon Kickoff.
Yeah, no, they try to get on them ratings, but
that shows you some respect there.
No, and look, I was it was because I was over in Seattle, so it's Pacific time, so it's like almost 9 o'clock. Which, by the way, it is really cool when college football starts at 9 o'clock in the morning versus 11 o'clock here. Like seriously, real cool to just 9 o'clock in the morning, you turn on ESPN.
That's for college football.
Yeah, that's for college. But even
NFL is 10 o'clock.
But that's still better than noon. Like, I'll take 10 o'clock start for NFL games over noon.
I think the Central Time Zone is perfect for NFL.
I think it's perfect for, like, prime time, but I do like the 2 hours earlier for the midday slates. Yeah, no, I'll take that. But
it's better than East Coast. East Coast sucks.
Yeah, East Coast sucks because everything starts an hour later. So, yeah, it's like 8 o'clock, 8:30 for prime time.
But they love it.
Game.
They love it.
Yeah, but, yeah, I made sure I tuned in to see Lee Corso make his last headgear pick. It was something you had to watch.
He goes out picking the Buckeyes, and he started picking the Buckeyes.
Yeah, I think that was his most picked team.
I think the only undefeated team he had was USC, I think. He was 17-0 picking USC.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it was probably easy to do back then during the Pete Carroll days.
Well, I think it's gotten to be the greatest show. It just is, with what they do with their interviews and being on scene at college stadiums for the big game. I just think that's huge, man. People travel just to go to that, go to the, the atmosphere with Corso out there and Herb Street and Herb Street's dog. And
it'll be weird with him not around. Like, him not be – because, like – even though he hasn't like quite been the same guy the last few years, it's going to be weird with Corso not being.
Yeah, they tried him out at the end.
Yeah, so I liked how they did it. I think it was a good farewell there. Do it like early in the season too, where like great atmosphere with the stadium there at Ohio State. No, I thought it was a great way for him to go out.
And are you glad they're retiring the headgear?
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. No, like you cannot.
But that was always fun, though.
It's fun, but, like, that's Corso's thing. Like, because it's not going to feel the same if you have, like, Pat McAfee doing it. If you have Pat McAfee doing it,
but
like, it's going to make people hate it more.
That was probably considered, to be honest with you.
I'm sure that there was somebody that pitched it, but I guarantee you even Pat McAfee said no, because that's just not that's just not something you can follow up and do the same way that Lee Corso did.
Yeah, 100% right. Coming up next, though, the local schools. Look at local schools before we dive back in to the National Football League in a little bit, but KU, K-State, Missouri. K-State, you had an interesting game. You had an interesting game, to say the least. We'll talk about the locals next.
Hey, it's Cole Reagans from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to The Drive with CDOT on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey friends, it's noisy out there with information coming at us all day, every day. It's hard to know what to trust, and the world of wealth management is no exception. That's why UMB Private Wealth Management helps you tune out the noise and tune into what matters most. They'll create a financial plan based on your unique goals, so it's your voice that comes through loud and clear. Get financial clarity. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule an appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth.
Hey, it's Gold, and I'm letting you know that FanDuel is coming to Missouri. That's right, FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to Missouri. The long wait will soon be over. We've been talking about sports betting in Missouri for years, truly years, but it's finally coming on December 1st. You'll be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. You can bet on everything from the money line to those over-unders to which team is going to win it all. You can build parlays, bet on player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style is, FanDuel has you covered. Plus, with live betting, you can even pick which player will score the next touchdown and the one after that. Mark your calendars. FanDuel is coming to Missouri on December 1st. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is an official partner of 96.5 The Fan. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When enjoying family and friends this Labor Day, bring out the grill and bring out the Gates Barbecue Extra Hot Sauce. It's great on spinach, asparagus, broccoli, and Brussels sprouts. While you're at it, be sure to use Gates hot and spicy seasonings on fresh fruit, vegetables, popcorn, nuts, or enhance your salad dressings with Gates hot and spicy seasoning for that extra flavor pop. Pick these up at your local grocer, and if you don't see them, ask for them. Make Gates Barbecue a part of your Labor Day. Gates Barbecue. Thanks. With love.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things. Like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The long weekend sale is on at Target with exciting deals you won't want to miss. Stock up on grilling must-haves for a few more sunny barbecues. And while you're at it, ease into sweater weather with fresh new fits for the fam. Whether you're hosting, relaxing, or showing off your new style, Target has your deal in-store, online, and in the Target app. Hurry and save more with the long weekend sale happening now through Monday. Only at Target.
Drinking and driving will change your whole world. The next time you're out with friends, consider what would happen if you got pulled over after drinking, like the legal fees or the time in court or a DUI on your record. Your decision to drink and drive could change someone else's world too if you hurt or even kill them in a crash. Instead, what if a decision to call a sober ride changed your world for the better? Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's ocean waves and kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
This sports report is brought to you by Bet365.
This hour's sports report is brought to you by Bet365. Bet365 is officially live in the Sunflower State. Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus in partnership with Kansas Star Casino.
.345, we'll come back to the Drive. Jay Binkley, Chis Uno Cero. Local schools in action this past weekend. Missouri and Central Arkansas, 61-6. You have to go back to Thursday night with that one. Friday night, KU all over Wagner, 46-7. Again, FCS. And K-State played an FCS team with a resounding 38-35 victory over a sub-500 FCS team from last year. What stands out to you most?
I mean, I think the easy one is what happened with K-State. K-State is a team that I think everyone expected them to be a little bit better this year. Hopefully, Avery Johnson was going to take a next step forward because, like,
I thought they'd win the Big 12.
Yeah, I wasn't that far, but for me, the big thing was, what does Avery do? Because remember, this is the guy that they basically dumped Will Howard for. And Will Howard went on to win the national title at Ohio State.
He didn't exactly go suck, did he?
Yeah. So, and now he's, on an NFL roster for now. And, it's like, okay, things went well for him. He talked some trash about your school on the way out. How do you respond with the guy that you have in that you basically replaced him with? And, last year, mixed results. Again, you can see the talent with him. What's happened this year? I mean, numbers aren't bad, but, man, he sure doesn't look like he's developed his game the way that I think K-State fans were hoping.
I think there's so many other issues, though, than the quarterback.
It's not just that, but that is one of the issues.
The defense getting pushed around, and they look good against Iowa State in the beginning. Again, we're talking about two top 5 defenses from the Big 12 last year when Iowa State and Kansas State played. But I came away thinking, man, on crucial downs and stuff, K-State got pushed around, which they did. They were 1 for 4 on fourth down. I mean, they couldn't sustain drives. And yes, it was a sloppy game, but that parlayed into game 2, Chris, against North Dakota. Again, don't confuse yourself with North Dakota State and North Dakota. It's a Grand
This
Canyon.
isn't the good team in North Dakota.
Grand Canyon-sized difference between the two. This was a 5-7 football team at the FCS level. The Kansas State needed to come back and win at the very end of the game to beat North Dakota. I don't know what's going on at Kansas State, but I fully expected that team to be pissed off about what happened against Iowa State in Dublin. All right, you give up a home game, you go over to Ireland, get some money, you're coming back, things didn't go well for you. Okay, then your quarterback gets in a fight with his son, or not the quarterback, but the quarterback's dad gets in a fight with his son after the game. Just a bad look for K-State all around. I'm sure that flight on Aer Lingus back from Dublin was extremely fun for Kansas State. I was expecting them to give North Dakota something, man. I was expecting them to be, all right, come sit on my lap, son, and beat you down. That is not what happened.
That was just one of those games where, like, I turned it on in the middle of it because I was watching. They were playing at the same time as Florida was playing Long Island University, which I didn't know had a football
great
team.
matchup. Yeah,
I didn't realize they had a football team.
FCS, baby.
I had to really search for it on the ESPN app to find Florida's game.
Buried even on ESPN Plus.
Yeah, so it was on ESPN Plus, and it was buried on ESPN Plus. So I was like, I really had to look for it.
Wait a minute, ESPN Plus, or is it the new ESPN app?
No, it was ESPN Plus. It was. I mean, it was basically they're the same thing. They're basically the same thing.
It is the same thing.
But like, yeah, it was buried on ESPN Plus, and so I'm watching that, and then I was like, okay, halftime at this game. Okay, let me switch over to K-State because my girlfriend's a K-State fan, and I was like, why is this game close? Like, this isn't the good North Dakota team. I had to double check to make sure it wasn't North Dakota State.
Yeah.
Because I'd understand if it was a close game against North Dakota State.
And North Dakota State beat Kansas State back in 2013.
That was a team that gave Colorado a run for their money last year. Like a team that was like a fringe playoff team. So I get it if that was Nodak State. That was not. That was North Dakota.
It was a 5-7 FCS team.
Yeah, that was a not good FCS team. And that's who you're struggling against at home? Like, what are we doing? So, yeah, that to me, that's very concerning, getting pushed around on the line. That's because your defense gave up 35 points to North Dakota. Like, what are we doing? So that
I expected an angry team, man.
Yeah.
That was anything but.
Right. That looked like a team.
I mean, Avery still put up 318 and everything, but again, it was against a bad FCS team.
Against a bad FC, and again, it wasn't.
They didn't do this against Iowa State.
It wasn't like you went out there and you smoked them. You had to come back late to win that game.
Dude, they won with 42 seconds left in the game.
Yeah. Like,
Joe Jackson scored with 42 seconds.
We had just landed from Seattle. We were sitting on the tarmac there at KCI, and we were watching the end of that game because it was like, oh, this is way too close. Like, this is way too close. And I got a lot of friends who are K-State fans, and I was like, bro, if they lose this game, I'm going to have to fight really hard not to troll them about the fact that they lost to North Dakota, not even the best team in North Dakota. Yeah, no.
Yeah, there's no state at the end of that.
Yeah, so, like, yeah, that's just not a good performance there. And hopefully, for their sake, this coming game, they have that anger that you and I were expecting from them after last week's game. And maybe that kind of spurs them and they go on a run. But after 2 games, even though you won your last one, it don't look good right now. It does not look good at all right now. You should not have played a competitive game against North Dakota.
And they'll play Army this weekend.
That ain't a given.
In Manhattan. No, it's extremely physical. It's not.
That is not a given.
It's not, even though Army did lose last week to Tarleton State, but Kansas State facing our Army, extremely physical, man. Army can beat you. They can beat you down on the ground, man.
And if you're Army, you have to believe that we might be able to push these guys around.
I bet Army definitely thinks they can push Kansas State around.
Like, I'm sure they played some teams, and they're like, oh, like, who is it? Was that a couple years ago when it was Navy? Was it 2 years ago when Navy played Notre Dame in Dublin?
Yeah.
And it was, like, very obvious the difference between the offensive and defensive lines for those teams because Navy was getting pushed around. I don't know if we're going to see that kind of a performance between Army and Kansas State.
You just never see them get pushed around.
Yeah. And that's something that I was
If this
very
doesn't have
surprised.
K-State's attention, I don't know what will.
Yeah, and
Because Army still ran for 280 yards in the game.
and K-State's got talent.
But they ran for 280 yards. I know as they played Tarleton State, but what I'm saying is Army's physical team, much more physical than North Dakota.
Yeah, so like I said, I wouldn't sleep on them pushing them around. If they push them around, there's going to be some people asking some questions about Coach after that.
I don't think we learned anything about Kansas beating Wagner. The only thing you really take away from it is they put down a team that they should.
Right.
Wagner's not a good football team in Kansas. Kansas played like a lot of teams used to beat Kansas. And they turned around and said, all right, no. Because you think, okay, you're playing Missouri the next week. You get that Fresno State win in the bag if you're KU. And you overlook a team, like Wagner coming in and playing. But Kansas hammered them. And it was never in doubt. It was not in question because they weren't looking forward to Missouri. And Missouri looked outstanding for a game one, scoring over 60 points against it. Again, all three of them played FCS teams. So take up what you want. Missouri has their quarterback situation figured out. So we'll see which direction it goes. But there wasn't a lot to take away from anything except for Kansas State playing so damn close.
Yeah, like KU and Mizzou did what they needed to do. Like you did what you were supposed to do, which is beat up on a FCS school. The biggest question now is obviously with those two facing each other off. What we've seen the first couple weeks, is that for real, especially with the quarterbacks. I know you are a lot more convinced on Jalen Daniels than I am. I think Jalen.
He's been there forever.
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm
it's
not convinced.
It's the Perry Ellis.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not convinced on him because he's been there forever.
He played great last year,
out.
though. He did play great last year.
Yeah, for stretches, but he wasn't great the entire year. And there was a lot of games like you remember that Colorado
those close games they lost.
You remember that Colorado game? Like that was a Devin Neal game. That wasn't a Jalen Daniels game. That was a Devin Neal game. And it's like I want to see him go out there and be that guy in those big games. And this is obviously going to be one of those big games, heated rivalry, enemy terror. I mean, this is going to be a very heated matchup here in enemy territory. And those fans are not going to – they will absolutely let him know when he is not playing well. Like they're gonna turn that intensity up. So he's got to be on his game because – man, I'm going to tell you this right now. That's the kind of rivalry atmosphere that KU doesn't have a whole lot of experience in, and they haven't really done that well in big games in general the last couple of years.
And for Missouri, it was Blake Craig did get hurt. Again, a kicker, 49 55-yarder he nailed. He was very good. Liberty North kicker for him. They had a true freshman come in, and believe it or not, he looked pretty damn good. Like the true freshman, I mean, you can still look at kickers and what they do in games like that because it matters. But when Sam Horn gets hurt, Blake Craig, also one of those guys got hurt. But a true freshman, Robert Meyer, stepped in. He was looked at as the 13th best kicker in the country. It's not like he's some slappy.
And I'm interested to see, what are they going to do to replace, who's going to emerge from like a receiver standpoint to replace the guys that they lost in the draft?
I think Kevin Coleman's looking really good for them.
Yeah, like I want to see what happens when they like play like a real team, because like this will be like a real big test for Mizzou. What we saw this past week, how does that carry over against a Power 4 opponent? So I'm interested in that for sure.
But they did. Missouri added a kicker, though, from the JUCO ranks to it. But it looks like Meyer will be the kicker if Blake Craig unable to go. Anyway, we go back to the Kansas City Chiefs, the AFC West. What have they done this offseason? What do you really expect from the AFC West? Remember, 3 teams made the postseason a year ago. Well, that happened again this year. And what are the Raiders going to have to say about it? We'll talk about that next.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Park & Go, the best deals on airport parking.
Don't fumble your airport parking. Score big with Park & Go. All covered parking, fast and free shuttles, and open 24/7. For the best deals in airport parking, reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family owned and fan approved.
You want to see the ring?
Here, I have a picture.
Wow, look at you.
I know, right? Went to Hellsberg and customized the whole thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, I showed them all her inspiration photos, picked the setting, the diamond. It's actually pretty fun. Now for the real hard part, asking her.
Well, congrats, buddy. Ring looks awesome.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Hang out with Cody and Gold. Weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
This Royal season, it's fountains up, it's batters up, adrenaline up, intensity up. And when the Royals battle the Mariners on Tuesday, September 16th, it's time to lift your hounds up, your terriers up, your spaniels, shepherds, retrievers, and mutts up. Harness up for Bark at the Park, presented by Underdog. Bring your four-legged fans to the K and take home the mystery Hot Dog Derby plush with the purchase of a theme ticket. Tickets at royals.com/bark.
At KCUC, you see the best in KC. With more than 50 expert providers and 20 convenient locations, you get the care you need quickly and close to home. From advanced diagnostics to the latest treatments, KCUC offers cutting-edge technology that sets us apart. It's no wonder we're the region's premier urology and oncology center. You deserve the best. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
It's time to build that dream deck over at All Weather Decks. Schedule a free estimate today at 913-206-1974 or online at allweatherdecks.net. All Weather Decks, the right deck at the right price.
Hi there, I'm Charlie.
And I'm Carter. Our dad is Rex with Rex Buys KC.
If you're thinking about selling a home in Kansas City and don't know where to start, our dad can help.
Sometimes life throws curveballs, like moving for a new job, dealing with a divorce, or inheriting a house you weren't expecting.
Dad doesn't just make offers, he talks with people to help them understand all of their options. No pressure, and it doesn't cost anything to talk with his team.
He's a local home buyer who really knows Kansas City. If selling to him is the right choice, he'll give you a fair cash offer, and you can close on your timeline even in as little as 7 days.
He buys homes in any condition. No need for repairs, no fees, no surprises.
Just an honest, easy process so you feel good about your decision.
Want to talk to him? Call 816-330-6000 or go to rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
Fall's the best time of year to clean up the outside of your home or business, and the best way to do that is with a fresh coat of paint from my friends at CertaPro Painters. You want your home or business to make a great impression, and that starts with the exterior. And when you choose CertaPro Painters, you're choosing the best in the business for your job. CertaPro Painters go the extra mile. If there's a way to save you money, they'll let you know, and they take care of every detail from start to cleanup. So do what we did and schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
I'm Sia, and I support Humane World for Animals, formerly called the Humane Society of the United States. Together, we have created a new version of Peter Gabriel's beautiful song, Salisbury Hill, to celebrate Humane World for Animals and everything they do. Enjoy the song and join us in helping Humane World for Animals end animal cruelty.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
my debit card.
Their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
I am the greatest fan in KU history.
I'm the greatest fan in K-State history.
I only wear crimson and blue.
I drive a purple car.
This will never be settled. That's why Kansas Lottery has the Rivalry Riches Scratch Ticket. You could win up to $50,000 instantly and great game day experiences through the Kansas Lottery Play-On app.
I have a Jayhawk tattooed on the arm of a Jayhawk that's tattooed on my arm.
All my children are named Willie.
See kslottery.com for details.
Fuel your game day with Raising Cane's. The Jayhawks and their fans are some of the most dedicated in football. It's a quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Cane's. One Love, preferred chicken finger of Kansas Athletics.
Tonight, expect showers and thunderstorms with a low of 61.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples. That was easy.
Have you watched Die Royal Decree? How about Chiefs Take Tuesday? Or would you rather Wednesday? Follow us on Instagram at TheFan965 for exclusive video content, giveaways, and behind-the-scenes action. 96.5 The Fan, KFMZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Welcome back, 96.5 The Fan. Drive rolls around, 4 o'clock hour. Jay Binkley, Chis Uno Cero. Chris just dropped the latest character concerns. We didn't have to wait for a pop star and a Hall of Fame tight end to run it, did we?
I wouldn't say they ruined it.
No, they didn't. It's bad timing. Bad timing on our part.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's not bad timing on our part. We were on our regular timing. We just can't predict when our tight end's going to get engaged.
But it was a week 0 review. It was a week 1 preview that went out.
Right, but again, it's not.
Besides our moms who was listening,
there's nothing we could do. There's nothing we could do about it when they. I mean, I actually think it was perfect timing on the part of Trav and Taylor to get it done the week before the NFL season starts, so you don't have that distraction. Because you know that had they done it like tomorrow, which was a week. It was a week ago tomorrow. That would have been all over the story that people were asking.
There's only one guarantee, and that's you won't get married in the fall.
Yeah. And see, they're not going to get married.
Guarantee I have.
Hopefully. I mean, if they get married in the fall.
Because the other, if they get Chiefs bye week, I mean, there's enough players they're friends with. They can't go to those games.
If they get married in the fall, they can do it next year.
They're not going to get married. No, because he likes to bring all those NFL players in he's friends with to go to it. Nah.
I don't know. Maybe they'll do it during the bye week.
You can't, because what about other teams not going to have the same bye week?
No, I mean, maybe he.
Maybe Josh Allen roll into it, or
Josh Allen's not going to that.
I don't know. He was one of the guys she mentioned.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
They're friends.
Are they friends?
I think so. They played golf together. Reno
on TV, right?
Yeah, I think they're buddies. He's buddies with a lot of guys in the NFL, probably.
We'll see. We'll see if Josh Allen's is in the wedding photos there. I mean, if there's, maybe they'll do it, next summer or the summer after. Probably
do it whenever they want. You can just hire it in and just do it. That's what I would do. Just do it at home. Do it in the backyard,
especially because they got money, so they can spruce up their backyard real nice.
Yeah. I'm sure it's just gonna be fine. As far as the AFC West, do you see them gaining ground? I'll say this. So you look at Denver, 7th in total defense last year, 19th against the pass. Chiefs are 18th. Denver's 19th. So they had to shore up the pass. 3rd against the run, 3rd in points against. Denver's defense was legit. And the big question was, is Bo Nix going to be enough at quarterback for Denver to look forward? They gave Chiefs everything they wanted when they were full strength at Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs won by a block kick at the end. Of course, they beat the Chiefs the last game of the season when the Chiefs didn't care about it. So that game doesn't count. The one at Arrowhead does count. Well, I guess they both count technically. But as far as the Chiefs actually counting, they gave the Chiefs everything they wanted at full strength. They gave the Chiefs full strength team at Arrowhead everything they wanted. Again, 3rd against points last year in the NFL. And when you look at these other teams like the Chargers, the Chiefs' opponent this week, they drafted Amari Hampton, the great running back out of North Carolina, and the Raiders go Ashin Genti, running back out of Boise State. That's great. But the one team that I think did have a good first-round pick that made sense because the Chiefs won 9 straight divisions is those Denver Broncos. Because, again, they were 19th against the pass. So they drafted a corner, Jahdae Barron, out of Texas to pair on the opposite side of Patrick Surtain. That was the one team in the division that made a move that said, we've got to find a way to beat the Chiefs. And what you do is, because Amari Hampton and Genti aren't going to make a damn bit of difference against Mahomes, Jahdae Barron could. So I do have the Broncos as the second best team. And I love the draft pick that they did. And this defense showed enough promise last year. And Bo Nix was a lot better as a rookie. Now, we'll see what happens in year 2. Year 2, quarterbacks do take a slide. They do take a step back. Now, C.J. Stroud did a bit, but they still went to the playoffs. So, take it with a grain of salt.
So I mean, C.J. Stroud, his dip was more so the protection than everyone knew they could just blitz up the middle.
But he still made the playoffs. That's,
right.
That's
they still made the playoffs, but you blitz up the middle, you're going to be able to get to C.J. Stroud because the interior of that offensive line last year was pretty terrible. I agree with you on Bo Nix. I do think that now there's more tape on him. I think teams are going to know exactly.
And they respect him now. They didn't respect him last year.
Well, yeah, because they didn't really know how Peyton was going to use him last year. Now you do, and we see that a lot in the NFL now, where it's like you come in your rookie year, and if you've got like talent, you got enough talent around you.
But he's got that leadership ability. That's the one thing.
Yeah.
You got to have the guys rally around you. Tom Brady was on some podcast yesterday or something like that. He said it. He goes, I don't want to see a quarterback do the six-shooter in the sky and celebrate a touchdown. No, I want to go see him celebrate with his teammates.
I don't care about that.
But I do. Because he goes, I want to see a quarterback go and celebrate with his teammates. That's what matters. And I agree with him. Bo Nix is a guy that the team does rally around.
I mean, I've seen Mahomes count down after he scored a touchdown.
No, that's fine, but you celebrate.
I don't
but
care.
what also Mahomes does is go grab the football on guys' first touchdowns just so they don't throw it away because, hey, it's your first touchdown. Like, he always remembers, players doing that. And guys love playing for him. It's just like I watched the series on Peacock about Joe Montana, and there's a reason why all the players, wanted to play with him because he's just a regular dude, man. He'd be in the Super Bowl against the Bengals and point out, fans in the stands like John Candy and say, hey, man, John's here. And he'd do this in a crucial drive. In St. Joe, or not St. Joe, River Falls, when they had training camp up there, he'd take the linemen out for beers at Bozeman. Again, you got to be a regular dude. Bo Nix appears to be that guy.
Yeah, my thing with Nix, though, is I think now that there's more tape on him. Because, look, Peyton's offense is a little behind the times. They don't use very much motion.
He didn't have Drew Brees.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but it's a little bit older school West Coast offense. They don't do a lot of motion. And so if you got the guys to play man coverage, especially because that receiving core is not that great, you can slow them down enough to throw off the timing of the offense. And so that's the thing that concerns me about the Broncos and their offense. I think their defense will be real good, but I think their offense can be had. I think you can slow them down enough to be able to win. And that's the thing that concerns me about the Broncos is that a lot of hype for Bo Nix, but Cortland Sutton is not a great receiver. He's a good receiver, but he wouldn't be a number one receiver on a team with a really good offense.
Marvin Mims appears to be pretty good. And Troy Franklin's there too, that we liked him a lot, or at least I did too.
Once I saw him in that pre-draft, I wasn't quite as
Evan Ingram, a tight end. It's decent at tight end. Running back situation. J.K. Dobbins, I did like him a lot. He had a good year last year with the Chargers.
Yeah,
he had health concerns behind him.
Still has some. I think he had some health issues last year.
But he's looking good in Denver. It's pushed Estime and third string in Denver.
I think Estime got cut.
Did he?
Yeah.
No, Estime's still there, and Tyler Beatty's still there too.
They must have brought him back because he.
Jaleel McLaughlin's their second one. I think
because Estime got cut last week. Literally after we finished our podcast, he got cut. So I don't know. Maybe they brought him back, but
he was brought back.
He was off the roster for a little bit.
Actually, no. Let me take that back. He's with the Eagles now.
Yeah, so I'm saying he got cut. Yeah, he got let go last week. So they and that was one of the weird ones. I think we were all expecting them to take Hampton. That was
That's
the guy.
right. Dobbins pushed him off.
Yeah, so I'm saying we were sitting there. We were expecting the Broncos to take Hampton because we were like, okay, well, they need a running back, and Javonte Williams hit free agency and is in Dallas.
I think Jahdae Barron's a nice pick for him.
I like Barron a lot, and I think that was good value getting him where they did. But like I said, I think they need some more receiver help, and I don't think they got that. And I like Dobbins, but injury history, I don't know if I'm betting on him.
He had a nice bounce back year, though.
He did. First, his efficiency went down after the first month, 4 or 6 weeks of the season. He wasn't quite as good. But for that first month and a half, he was really, really good for the Chargers.
No, it's R.J. Harvey. That's right. Their draft pick. He's the number 2.
Harvey was the guy that got, second round, I think.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah.
So Denver at 2. Chargers, listen, I do like Herbert's on his third head coach. Harbaugh makes the most sense out of any of them because he's a former quarterback. We'll see what happens. Still have the wide receiver concerns. Quentin Johnson, his injury, they've dealt with that. And they bring back Keenan Allen for that team. Running back situation, pretty good if you got Hampton there, and we'll see what Najee can do coming back from the 4th of July accident. We'll see what he can do. But the Raiders going to be better with Pete Carroll. I'm sorry, a couple national titles in college. He's won at the NFL level, and he would have 2 rings if Russell Wilson didn't throw a pick down at the goal line. But the Raiders will be better. I'm not talking real good. Still probably a 8 or 9 win team, to be honest with you. They'll be better than they have been.
I think they're going to be under 500. I like Pete Carroll. I like
Well,
Geno
8-9
Smith.
would still be under 500.
I think 6 wins is top for them. I don't think they're going to be that good this year. I like Pete Carroll, but that is a team that doesn't have that much talent. Like, they got some talent. Brock Bowers is awesome. I think he's going to have another awesome year. I like Genty, but I think Genty's a little overrated. But, outside of that, I mean, Max Crosby's awesome. Who on their defense scares you besides him? I mean, we just saw them cut Christian Wilkins. And now you got that. Now you got that whole grievance situation set up. Offensively, I mean, they might be starting Dante Thornton, rookie, because they don't have a lot of great depth at receiver right now. I mean, Jack Betch was a guy that got a lot of hype in the draft.
You got Amari Cooper back, man.
Okay, yeah, they got Amari Cooper back, who was not good when he
Jacoby
was in
Myers?
Buffalo. Amari Cooper had one good game because he was matched up against Najee Johnson. Like, no, I'm not sold on the talent that they have around Brock Bowers. I thought Jack Betch was a little overrated. I don't think you have the same kind of system around Geno the way that you had around him when he was in Seattle.
So who's the best coaches in the division, though? You just Reed and then who? Unless you don't have Reed at 1.
Oh, I mean, come on now.
So Reed,
I would put Harbaugh at 2.
Harbaugh
Even though I think Harbaugh's a little overrated too, I put Harbaugh at 2.
Peyton 3.
Yeah, I'll put
And
Peyton.
Pete Carroll. Again, you're talking about Pete Carroll.
And I
It's
still
a
like
couple
Pete
rings
Carroll.
in college and one of the pros.
I still like Pete Carroll. It's just
He's a nasty defensive coordinator, man, because that's what he was before head coach.
He is, but like his defenses ain't been that nasty the last few years. Ever since the league switched to 2 high from cover 3, his defenses ain't been as good as they were before.
So what's your quarterbacks? Mahomes, Herbert, Nix, then Geno, or Geno, then Nix?
I would go Nix over Geno.
Okay.
For now.
But Geno did lead the NFL in completion percentage 2 years ago.
And I wouldn't sleep on Geno being a little bit better than Nix. I don't think Nix is in for a big year the way that people think he is. I think he kind of I think he's like near the top of what he's going to be in the NFL last year. Like what we saw last year, it's about near the top of what he's going to be, I think. I might be wrong about that, but I think that's about top end of what he's going to be.
Regardless, the Chiefs, a 522 winning percentage, the teams they play. And again, I don't care about that at all. Chiefs playing strength of schedule, 522 winning percentage, 574 for the Giants. But it doesn't matter to me, Chris, because the NFL, like, throw that stuff out the window. Like, I do not care about that at all because it doesn't matter what you did. Well, you can't look at NFL teams. Some teams are good, they expect to be good, and some teams are bad. For example, you think the Jaguars a couple years ago, they won a playoff game, right? Things are looking good for them. Then what happens? They fall way back. Matter of fact, since 2002, 25 teams have gone from worst to first in their division. It gets better, though. Only one team has won its division after missing the playoffs in its entirety in 53 of 55 years. That's happened in the NFL. So teams fall off fast. They're good fast. I mean, we see it all the time.
I mean, if I would have said at the beginning of last season that the Bengals with a healthy Joe Burrow, with T. Higgins healthy for most of the year, Hendrickson healthy throughout the year, Jamar Chase healthy throughout the year, that they missed the playoffs, I think you called me crazy.
That Jamar Chase had a triple crown?
Yeah, he had a triple crown last year, and they still missed the playoffs. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, anything can happen. And that's the reason why, like, I don't, I tend to be a little – I don't deal in absolutes that much, but – man, I wouldn't be shocked if Nix, someone like Bo Nix didn't quite have the same kind of year last year because teams know what they're going to do now, and I don't think Peyton's play calling is quite as imaginative as it used to be.
But the question is, if teams gained ground in this division, the Chiefs still won it by 4 games last year. And you had 3 teams go to the postseason. Quarterback-coach combination is ridiculous. I'm going to say yes because I do feel that these teams have improved in the AFC West. I think it'll be much closer at the end.
I
still have the Chiefs winning it, but I still think it'll be closer than 4 games.
I think it'll probably be similar to what they had last year. I
don't see 4 games.
I can see 4 games. I don't think we're going to have maybe the Chargers get 10, maybe they get 10 wins. But even then, I'm not quite sold on
Broncos 11 or 12, something like that.
I don't see that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting. Come next, though, the rest of the NFL, the AFC, the NFC, how that picture looks out. We'll look at that next.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Catch Hall of Famer Denny Matthews every Monday at 3.
And gone, Bobby Witt.
On your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri, get ready! The wait is almost over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State, and you can sign up today. New Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets when we launch on December 1st. Download now and place a $5 bet when we go live. DraftKings Sportsbook brings everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code 965 to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. That's promo code 965 in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
GimmeTheVin.com's big cash giveaway. I hate games and scams. So when we had the idea to give away $25,000, I was very careful about the way it was orchestrated. Get the top of the market money and enter to be the lucky person to get $25,000. This is no joke. This is no game. This is very real. Just like GimmeTheVin.com.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GimmeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GimmeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Hey, almost Andy Reid here. It's been an honor to give back to the community that's embraced me being almost your head coach. Thanks for letting me be part of your team. Renner Garage Door is a teammate of mine that also values the community that they served for decades, always giving back and delivering wins with top brands like Geldon, Amar, and Liftmaster. Need a repair or replacement? Get a free estimate today. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Getting the job done right the first time protects your home, time, and budget. This summer, get $500 off a water softener and filtration combo. Schedule at AnthonyPHCE.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Welcome back to The Drive. Jay Binkley, Chis Uno Cero. All right. Look at the AFC West, my friend. Now, what are your thoughts on the rest of the NFL? Tier 1. Let's go. Who's your Tier 1? Same suspects, Chris? Or for me, it's still the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Ravens. That's Class 1. Class 2, wait, Houston's in there, of course, because they made the postseason last year. The Bengals would be there if they can show something on defense.
Yeah,
but Tier 1's easy for me.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on Tier 1. Yeah, Tier 2, I'd probably say Texans, Bengals. We'll see about the Steelers. I'm skeptical on Aaron Rodgers, but we'll see. And that's really it for Tier 2. There's not a lot. I wouldn't be, don't be shocked if the Jaguars have a resurgence this year because you have so much talent around Trevor Lawrence, and you have a better head coach, a better play caller than what you had before. Because Liam Cohen, he killed it last year.
And Travis Hunter, see if they work him out or not.
Yeah, so I'm saying you got more talent around Lawrence, but also I think you got a better coach. So, maybe their offense gets back to what it was. They got a lot of talent on the defense too. It's just, I think everything with Peterson and whatnot, it was kind of a mess at the end of the last 2 years with the Jags there. So maybe new coach, new vision, you're a better team than what you were before.
Well, the playoffs in the AFC, you had the Bills, then you had the Ravens and Steelers from the north. South, you had Houston. From the west, you had 3. Chiefs, the Chargers, and Broncos. To be honest with you, I see very, very similar results for this year's playoffs. The 7 teams. I'd say 7 are set, except the Bengals. We don't know what the Bengals are doing, but I do think the 7 from last year, it's going to be tough to step in there because I still see the Ravens and the Steelers going in the north. Now, can the Bengals make a dent and be that team instead of the Steelers? I don't think so. To be honest with you, I have exactly like it was last year. Or maybe the Chargers. Maybe the Chargers. The Bengals are better than the Chargers. I could see them slipping in. So I put the Chargers kind of outside looking in.
So,
but in far now.
Right now, the only change I would make is I have the Broncos out and I have the Bengals in. But really, aside from that,
I have the same one except for the Chargers out. Maybe the Bengals. Steelers. I still think the Steelers are going. It's Mike Tomlin, man.
Actually, I got the Steelers out. I got the Steelers out, and I've got the
Even with DK coming in and Rodgers and stuff, he's and TJ Watt happy with his contract.
I'm not really that sold on Aaron Rodgers, and not only that, but like I like DK, but I don't view DK as like a number one in the sense that you would view like a Jamar Chase or any of the top receivers. I think he's a good number one. I just don't think he's like an elite wide receiver. So as much as I like that, it's like also we have to understand like Aaron Rodgers is a big chemistry guy. If he doesn't have chemistry with guys, like it's
he was just voted captain for him, so the guys do like him.
I'm talking about like on the field chemistry. I'm talking about like what you do between the lines, not like can you get along with guys and personality.
Pickens worked out with him before the season, or DK Metcalf, excuse me.
Yeah, I'm just saying like we see that, but we also seen like Chiefs receivers work out with Mahomes, and then you get on the field and it's not quite the same. So I'm not quite sold on the Steelers this year.
So you have 6 of the 7.
Yeah.
Take the Broncos out.
Take the Broncos out, put the Bengals in, and then.
But I wanted to do the Bengals, but man, their defense, I know it's preseason, but it looked like crap just like last year. It looked bad.
And I get that.
And they lose Pratt, and they lose Hubbard's gone.
I get that. I just don't think that there's like I think they're better than the competition around them that would be helping them fight for the wild card spot. So that's why I got them in. Like I said, I'm not sold on the Broncos. Steelers, I'm not really quite sold on. So
and keep in mind, this is us keeping the Jags down, the Colts down. With the Colts don't have a quarterback, but I like the rest of that roster. But that is the most important. But I can see 6 of the 7 returning.
Yeah, like I said, my big thing is I'm not quite there on Broncos, but I'll give the Bengals a little bit because I think Joe Burrow is going to have an MVP level season. I think Chase is going to have a similar season what he had last year. Higgins will be good. Hendrickson will be good because he's trying to get paid next year. I just think the defense will be really bad for him. So they'll.
The funny thing is, all these guys had good years last year. Even Hendrickson's led the NFL in sacks. Well, he did last year, but over the last 2, it's still number 1. Even though T.J. Watt topped him 2 years ago, but he's the returning sack leader. Jamar Chase won the Triple Crown. Joe Burrow had MVP-like numbers, yet they watched the playoffs on the couch.
Right. Yeah. So, like I said, that's.
Anarumo's gone as defensive coordinator. Al Golden from Notre Dame comes in.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to go well.
And Mike Pennell is there.
I think them firing Anarumo was a really terrible decision.
Because he's one guy that did slow down the Chiefs.
Yeah, not only that, but like he didn't have a lot of talent to work with.
And they got rid of Jermaine Pratt.
Right. He did not have a lot of talent to work with. And now you're completely changing your defense up, your strategy up, and you don't have a ton of talent to begin with. So now you got someone else, and I'm sure his philosophies are different than Anarumo. Anarumo really kind of did the most with what he had, and he didn't have a whole lot. And now you're changing everything up. I just don't think that was a good decision.
I'm still shocked. Not shocked. I'm not shocked anything they do, but they should have been players than Parsons. He wouldn't have gone there. Well, he had no choice, but to me, that would have made a ton of sense for Parsons in Cincinnati.
I just don't think that was feasible with the kind of money he was asking for, the kind of trade you were looking to make.
The Bengals are cheap. I can't see them ponying up $47 million.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I don't think it was ever a feasible trade. Like I didn't even consider.
But it makes sense for them because of Hendrickson and the 1-year deals.
Oh yeah, a lot of moves. A lot of moves would make sense for them.
Like
but
Parsons in Cincinnati made a ton of sense. Glad he didn't go.
Yeah, but I mean,
and they're terrible in the draft. Whatever.
That's what I'm saying. It's like this is not a team that you could have any faith would make a move.
But to be honest with you, Chris, since 2022, you know the highest percentage of teams to still have draft picks on their team? The Bengals, 73.5%. The Chiefs, 73.3%. Number 2. But there's a big difference.
That's because they don't want to pay anybody.
There's a big difference. One team's winning and one team's not.
Yeah, that's because they don't want to pay anybody. That's why.
And all the rest of the top 5 are winners, like Philadelphia, Baltimore, all this,
They have no choice but to rely on their draft picks, especially now because they're paying, their top 3 offensive players so much money now. Well, really, their top 4 offensive players, you count Orlando Brown Jr., you're paying a lot of money to those guys. So, yeah, you don't have a whole lot of money to sit around and pass around to your defense.
In the NFC, we had the Philadelphia Eagles, the Commanders. From the East, the North, you saw the Lions, the Vikings, and the Packers. In the South, Tampa Bay Buccaneers won their 4th straight division title, followed by nobody. Nobody else made the South. In the West, the Rams or the one team from the NFC West. Everybody keeps saying the 49ers. That's like the hot trend.
Really?
Even if yeah. People are still picking the Niners. It's like, man, have you not looked at their injuries? Have you not looked at the fact they have MVS and Sky Moore now? Have you not looked at those factors? That's how bad they are at wide receiver, that MVS and Sky Moore are there.
I'm not very high on the 49ers at all. Look, I don't think Hufanga and Greenlaw are going to have the impact in Denver that a lot of people think they do. I think they got overpaid. But they were good for the 49ers defense. And their defense really was not that good last year. And I think Brock Purdy is overpaid. I don't think Brock Purdy is as good as his contract would let you think that he is.
Here's Chris. The Ravens plus 700. This is FanDuel. Bills number 2 at plus 750. Eagles tied with the Bills at plus 750. The Chiefs at plus 800. Then the Lions plus 1,100. The Packers now plus 13. There's the Niners. There's the Niners right there. They're overvalued, man.
I think they're really overvalued, and I think you're just donating your money to the book if you take them on the Super Bowl odds. I think
Vegas is never usually wrong, but that's a little bit of a stretch.
Well, a lot of that is public perception, but I think that the Rams are going to win the West. I think the Rams.
Hey, you bring in Devontae. It depends on Stafford. It depends on Stafford's health because Jimmy Garoppolo's not the answer, and Stetson Bennett's there as third. But the bottom line is, the Rams did bring in Devontae Adams. They did. Listen, they did lose Cooper Kupp.
They have a really good defense.
They lost
too.
Cooper Kupp. I get that because that's a big loss. To be honest with you,
I don't think it's as big as people.
But
think
the Rams will win that division, in my opinion.
I think Cooper Kupp was on the downslide, so I think Devontae is a fine replacement for him. They got a lot of really good young defensive players, though. Like, they got Braden Fisk and Jared Verse last year in the draft. Both those guys were really awesome for him last year, and I think they get better this year. So I really like what the Rams have done.
So the Rams you have coming out of the North.
The West.
Oh, the West. The West. Do you have to see the Arizona Cardinals in the West do anything?
I think the Cardinals make the wild card.
So the Cardinals in the wild card. Seattle. You don't have Seattle do anything?
No.
All right. So the rest of it, Eagles, Commanders, both of them are in.
Yeah, I think so.
Both of them are in. I think it's the same order, too. I think it's Eagles and Commanders.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Followed by the Giants
I wouldn't be
and
shocked.
then the Cowboys.
I wouldn't be shocked if the Commanders won the division.
They bring in Laramie Tunsil, which, by the way, they got better draft capital than the Parsons deal to Green Bay.
Yeah.
But the Commanders I liked last year, too, because I like Jaden Daniels a ton. You know that.
Yeah, you did.
But you bring in Tunsil, you bring in Debo, and that offensive line looks a lot different.
Yeah, I mean, I think a little bit easier schedule than the Eagles do, and on top of that, like the Eagles' performance was based heavily on Saquon having a 2,000-yard rushing season. I don't think he's going to have that kind of a year this year. He's still going to be great, but like he's not going to have that level of season this year. And I think now that you've got some confidence on the Commander side, you got Terry. He got his money now. You added
Terry.
Man, I think the Commanders are going to win the East.
I still have the Eagles win the East, but that's neither here nor there.
It'll be a close race, I think. I think it'll be similar to what we saw with the Lions and Vikings.
All right, Giants or Cowboys? 3rd and 4.
I'm going to still take the Cowboys over the Giants. Because I think
I'm going Giants purely because that pass rush is ridiculous.
Yeah, but their quarterback situation is not – their offense is not good. And I at least trust that the Cowboys' offense will be able to help them stay right around 500, even though their defense is going to be atrocious, I think, this year.
So we got, as far as that's concerned, oh, by the way, the Commanders did draft Connerly, too. The offensive line.
They did. We'll see what happens with Connerly. He's got some time to develop behind Tunsil.
Yeah, so at least they did draft that going forward. It's something to look forward to. Now, as far as the rest of the NFC, the North, obviously the Lions, people are still counting on them. Not as highly. And when you lose to Ben Johnson, that does make a difference. I'm sorry, I would say whatever you want, but that does make a difference. The Vikings, again, injury concerns at wide receivers so much that they bring in Adam Thielen back. The Green Bay Packers, to me, are the division winners. The Packers, and I think the Bears are better than 5-12. I don't think the Bears are going to the playoffs, but I think the Packers win the division, not the Lions.
Yeah, so I think originally I had the Lions, but yeah, now that the Packers got Parsons, as long as their receiving core stays healthy, because they had some injury issues, and as long as Jordan Love stays healthy, because he had some injury issues last year, I got the Packers. Then I got the Lions getting one of the wild card spots, and then I think the Bears are going to finish above the Vikings. I think the Vikings are going to take a big step back this year because you know this from the 24 draft season. I'm not very high on J.J. McCarthy at all, and I think there's a reason why the Vikings haven't been 100% on J.J. during this offseason.
Took them forever to name quarterback one, but they finally have.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They finally did it. It's like, look, man, like, if you propose to your girlfriend or partner, whoever, and they wait a few minutes before they say yes, they're thinking about saying no. And, like, that should tell you something about what they think about your future with them. And I feel like the Vikings did everything they could to find an alternative without explicitly saying that they were trying to find an alternative. Like, I think if they would have been able to get a good deal on Sam Darnold, they would have kept Sam Darnold. I think if they would have been able to get another quarterback on a reasonable number, they would have gotten another quarterback on a reasonable number. If Aaron Rodgers didn't have the baggage that he had coming out of New York, I think they would have gone after him. But because he had that baggage, they were like, yeah, actually, no, we're good. I don't feel like they're confident in him. And I wasn't confident in him anyways because I watched him play, and I just don't think he was that good of a quarterback in college. So, yeah, I think there's a reason to believe that they're going to take a big step back offensively.
NFC South, the Buccaneers are going for their 5th straight division title. Listen, they drafted Amika Ibuka. I mean, they're loaded at wide receiver now with Godwin there and Evans. And Mayfield's really turning around. So the Bucs have won it 4 straight years, and the Falcons, the Panthers, and the Saints, none of them made the playoffs last year. The Saints, Tyler Shuck, I mean, that was a joke. You know, I wasn't a fan of that through the draft.
Me neither.
And Spencer Rattler was named their starter.
That was the funny part. Yeah.
So the Panthers will be better for sure. They're not a playoff team at this point. I think the Falcons actually get into the playoffs that weren't there a season ago because I'm with you. I have the Panthers or the Falcons going instead of Vikings.
Yeah. So I've got my 3 wild cards are the Cardinals, the Lions, and the Eagles. So I think the Falcons will finish just short. I think they're actually going to be
I have the Commanders, Lions, and the Falcons.
Yeah. So, you know, like I said, I think they'll finish just short. I just think, I think it'll be a year before we really see. I think Penix will have a good year, but I think we're a year away from the breakout year. Because I think Penix will have a breakout year, but I think he needs some more time to, get acclimated to the league. Teams are going to throw some stuff at him he's not used to. Remember, he's missed a lot of football because of injuries in his career. So, yeah, I think it's going to be another year before he really breaks out.
Do you have your Super Bowl prediction yet, or is it too early?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I have the Chiefs and the Commanders in the Super Bowl.
Okay. Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I think,
which is funny to me because how does Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, and Brian Thomas Jr. on the same team not win? But no defense. It is ridiculous how much talent LSU has.
You didn't have a defense.
It is ridiculous how much talent
they score 40 points, but they give up 35. They were basically the Bengals of college football that year. I think they're loaded on offense. They got enough talent on defense. And a very good defensive-minded head coach in Dan Quinn. And I think that for them, there's no pressure on them this year compared to, the Eagles. People forget, the middle of September, the Eagles were beefing with each other. Jalen Hurts and what's his name?
Brandon Graham.
And A.J. Brown. Brandon Graham, too, but A.J. Brown as well. They wasn't on the same page early in the year.
I was shocked they turned around and finished it.
That's what I'm
their
saying.
performance still in the Super Bowl is epic. Though. And Jalen Hurts, man, he's 26 years old. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's been a Super Bowl MVP. He could have been back, 2 Super Bowl MVPs.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's my thing is that super talent. Really talented organization, but they clearly do have some problems. Even if winning doesn't cure everything, we see it can stave off issues in your organization. But you remember the Lakers from the late '90s, early 2000s, they did a lot of winning, but eventually the personalities tore them apart. I wouldn't be shocked if something like that happens this year, where they start off slow, especially in the passing game, and then they got a little friction and then things change around.
I still had the Chiefs in the AFC. Believe it or not, I got the Bucks in the NFC.
Really?
I had Chiefs Bucks, yeah.
Really? It's because of all the talent they have on the
Yeah,
in
it's
the
real
receiving
close.
core?
It's almost the Eagles, man. It's almost a rematch of the Super Bowl, but I'm going.
The only thing I'm a little bit worried about with the Bucks is the change in offensive coordinator. Now that Liam Cohen
I
is
love
in
that
Jacksonville.
offense, though, man.
Like that's the only thing is like what happens when you have a new play caller. And
I could convince. I still got a couple days for this. I could be convinced Chiefs Eagles, but I like the Bucks a lot. I do like the Commanders a ton too.
Yeah, to me.
But I do like the Bucks winning 4 straight division titles. I think it starts to matter.
Chiefs, Commanders, and now that the Packers have Micah Parsons, I can see the Packers making it.
We'll see what shape he's in. He's doing the epidural in the back and stuff like that.
He's got back
so we'll
injury.
see.
Yeah,
But love that offense.
Yeah. Oh no, I think their offense is really good, and I think.
I mean, they had enough, and they go in and get beat in the postseason of Philly, but that team loaded up.
Yeah, they got better with Matt Golden, and you add in Micah Parsons now. Those are good gets for them. So I wouldn't be shocked if they got into.
We'll take a time out now. We come back. We'll look at the Trent McDuffie situation. Doesn't look like a contract's going to be signed, extension. I say no big deal. We talk about that next.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
The last blast of summer, the last home series, the last Let's Go Royals, the last Hot Dog Derby, the last 2015 Champs bobblehead, the last Fireworks Friday, the last Bring Out the Blue t-shirt, the last Theme Night bobblehead, the last chance to see your boys in blue in person in the 2025 regular season. It's Royals Blue Jays, Friday through Sunday, September 19th through the 21st. The last thing you want to do is miss it. Visit royals.com/tickets.
Brew Brothers at Harris, Kansas City, now open. Dine on mouth-watering appetizers, then feast on one of our 6 American Wagyu burgers, including the Bacon Jam Burger and Blazing Burger. Wash it down with your favorite ice-cold beverage, all while watching the game on one of our 45 TVs. Dine in or carry out. Brew Brothers at Harris, Kansas City always hits the spot. Brew Brothers and Brew Brothers Express are now open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-BETS-OFF. Prostate cancer. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed in their lifetime, but early detection can save lives. That's where KCUC comes in. They're the premier center for urology and oncology, with over 50 elite providers and more than 20 locations across the metro. KCUC makes it easy to get screened fast in the comfort of an office, not a hospital. Schedule your screening today at kcuc.com. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. kcuc.com. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Hey, it's Gold, and I'm letting you know that FanDuel is coming to Missouri. That's right, FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to Missouri. The long wait will soon be over. We've been talking about sports betting in Missouri for years, truly years, but it's finally coming on December 1st. You'll be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. You can bet on everything from the money line to those over-unders to which team is going to win it all. You can build parlays, bet on player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style is, FanDuel has you covered. Plus, with live betting, you can even pick which player will score the next touchdown and the one after that. Mark your calendars. FanDuel is coming to Missouri on December 1st. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is an official partner of 96.5 The Fan. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You want to see the ring? Here, I have a picture.
Wow, look at you.
I know, right? Went to Hellsberg and customized the whole thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, I showed them all her inspiration photos, picked the setting, the diamond. It's actually pretty fun. Now for the real hard part, asking her.
Well, congrats, buddy. The ring looks awesome.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's Ocean Waves and Kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey, more like Mira Joyed. That Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at Walmart.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
It's O Rewards Member Appreciation Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Up to $100 in bonus rewards available at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
It's O Rewards Member Appreciation Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Up to $100 in bonus rewards available at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Welcome back to the Drive. Jay Binkley, Chis Uno Cero. Trent McDuffie, man. You've seen the flurry of Chiefs contract extensions go out. Karlaftis happy. Trey Smith happy. Doesn't look like Trent McDuffie is going to be signed this year. And I say a big deal, Chris. They still got this year. Next year is the club option. So there's plenty of time. But I think a deal with Trent McDuffie does get done. I don't know why anybody would freak out at all with this. Again, he's under contract for 2 more years. I could see this thing perfectly getting done.
The only concern I would have is if there was like any obvious like contention between the two where like clearly you have like McDuffie not happy with that situation there.
And that's just not the case.
And it doesn't seem like that is right now. I think and if he does have any, he's definitely not letting us know in an obvious way. So, you know, it's hard to judge that, but I hope that it doesn't deter him. He's able to just go out there and play ball and understand that at some point something should come out there.
He's going to be taken care of. I never forget this, Chris. This was Trent McDuffie when he talked about it with Kay Adams. Remember, she did little training camp tours and everything?
Right.
Well, she sat down with Trent during training camp up in St. Joe and just listen to that. I mean, this leads me to think nothing else than it'll be with the Chiefs. See, Chris, this was back in August, man. I look at this and I see a guy that's content the way, the Chiefs have been busy, obviously with current contracts now, but it might take a while for Doug McDuffie. The only thing is the price will go up. the price will go. It's like Trey Smith. I think Trey Smith saved the money not playing on the tag because other guards would have signed before he hits the deal. And I think George Karlaftis left money on the table because if he had a career best in sacks, which I think he will this year, that number would have gone up for the edge rushers. Especially, look at what Parsons got. He wasn't going to get that kind of money, but T.J. Watt got $43 million. Then all of a sudden, Parsons $47. So yeah, I think George, he's not going to get those kind of guys money, but it would have been better.
Yeah, and I that's part of the reason why I'm not quite worried about it so much.
No concern.
Because, yeah, for some of these guys, waiting is better because you get more money. And like we've seen, and also I think the biggest thing for him is deciding what's the length of contract he wants to sign.
You remember when Tyreek Hill was the number one paid wide receiver in the NFL?
Yeah.
He's not even like top 6 now, 7.
No. Because it gets overtaken so fast. So it's like the thing is on his end, one, yeah, it probably gets overtaken fast. But the question is like, how many years do you want to really re-sign for? 3 or 4? Because in his best interest, 3 would be the number that he should hit. Because I think that was the number was that J.C. Horn? Is that what he got was 3 years? Which is like, that's a good number. And then you see a lot of these corners, most of them getting the big extensions are getting 4-year deals. Well, you generally want to take a shorter deal so you can hit the market again before you turn 30 and maybe you get another big time contract.
Slid to 10th.
Oh, he slid to 10th. Okay, that's even worse. But that was the thing with Trey Smith and the Chiefs. Trey Smith wanted 4 years. The Chiefs wanted 5 years. And that was the contention that they had. And eventually they agreed to a 4-year deal. It wouldn't shock me if it was a 3 versus a 4-year deal situation there, or even a 4 versus a 5-year situation there for the Chiefs and Trent McDuffie's camp. So, I mean, look, I know that like the Chris Jones situation scared a lot of people, but that was like a rarity because you're talking about a 3rd contract as opposed to a 2nd contract. 2nd contract, it can get contentious, but generally if you're a great player, the team that you play for is going to sign you to an extension or they're going to trade you. And if they're going to trade you, it's generally pretty obvious. It doesn't generally play out the way that it did with Micah Parsons and the Cowboys.
Well, before we take a break, Chris, let me throw this one at you. And it's something I talked about a couple weeks ago, and I know you and I have touched on it a little bit in character concerns at times, but Rashee Rice. Now, here's the deal. He's still got time. He's got a 4-year contract because he's a 2nd-round pick.
So he's going into the 3rd year.
He's going to the 3rd. But we're looking at the same timeline. You're looking at the same timeline for a guy like Rashee Rice. I see something where the Chiefs have shown him extreme loyalty, and they've helped him out during difficult times. And I think there's a real connection between Rice and the Chiefs. I definitely think there's a connection between Rashee Rice and Mahomes. But again, he's not in a power play position, Chris, because of the suspension. You see what I'm saying? Like he's one of these deals that, other NFL teams might go, well, you've been hit by the NFL before. The second time, if something happens, they're going to come back even harder on you. Rashee Rice made himself a lot more affordable because of the situation. Like I can see that deal actually getting done relatively soon. I wouldn't be shocked if they get Rashee Rice extended soon. And he's in the position, he paid that restitution. He's losing all that game checks through 6 weeks. Can you see a situation where he wants to take the money early because, hey, if they're willing to offer more money now and not that 2nd contract, this is the time to do it, to be honest with you.
If I were his agent, I would say I don't even talk about an extension until the end of the season.
But you know, Chris, I mean, he's losing those game checks and everything. You know, if they came looking trying to give him money, it'd be
hopefully
maybe
if he's got a good agent.
Oh, he does. Trust me.
His agent will be like, no, because
but he's got that one knock against him with the NFL, so it makes his power play different.
It doesn't. The only way it does is if the Chiefs are able to develop other wide receivers to be as impactful as he has been when he's healthy. So if Xavier Worthy turns into a very, very, turns into a receiver capable of being a 1,000-yard receiver, or if Jalen Royals comes up and he shows very early on that he can go out there and replicate the production that Rashee Rice has, then it might be a leverage play on the Chiefs' part when it comes to Rashee Rice. But we haven't seen that yet. Rashee is, I think, very clearly their best pass catcher. So right now, I think he still kind of has the leverage, even though he's about to lose a lot of money.
I'm telling you this, though. I wouldn't be shocked if this happens.
I wouldn't be shocked
relatively soon.
I wouldn't be shocked if they offered him a contract, but I don't think I would be shocked if he took an extension right now. because that extension right now isn't going to be anywhere near worth what he could get if he comes in after 6 games and he balls out the way that he was balling out a year ago before he got hurt. Like, let's say he comes in there and he has a 1,000-yard season, even though he missed 6 of the 17 games.
Man, he was looking to bank through 4 weeks last year.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like imagine if he comes in there and he balls out the way that he did, he's going to be in line for even more money than he would be if he took money now. So that's the reason why if I were him, if I were his agent, I don't think his agent is going to let him do that. He's going to be like, no, wait at least until the end of the year because you have more leverage, because you're going to have more stuff on tape. Because we know, like last year, he missed almost all but 3.5 games. And this year, he's going to miss 6 games at least. So I think at this point, it would be smart for him to wait. And then at the end of the year, then he can negotiate. Like the Chiefs can go to him and negotiate.
You lose 6 game checks, all of a sudden your outlook looks completely different.
Oh,
that does hamper you, man.
I get it. I completely understand it. I just don't think I don't think you go out there and you chase the short money when you have a chance to go get the big money.
Well, it's almost 5 o'clock, Chris. You know what happens now? Coming up next, we play the hits.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5. The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Listen up, folks. I want to tell you guys about my new obsession. It's Daisy French Onion Dip. With football season here, it is the perfect dip for your chips, your wings. The delicious Daisy French Onion Dip and the Daisy Ranch Dip, they're game changers. They're delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and real spices and also ingredients that you'd find right there in your kitchen. So the next time you're having people come over to celebrate the start of the football season, you better make sure you have one thing, and I'm talking about that Daisy French Onion Dip. You can find it the next time you go to the grocery store.
Head home with The Drive. Weekdays starting at 2 on 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
Ring the bell. We've done it again. Golden Oak Lending has lowered rates to 4.875 fixed. Lower your monthly payment, get cash out, pay off credit cards, and best of all, make no mortgage payments for 2 months. Lock in this incredible 4.875 rate and get your cash in as little as 14 days. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
5.81 APR, FHA, 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Rally House, shop every team in town. College and pro, come on, it's time to go.
The season starts at Rally House. From jerseys and hats to tumblers for game day, it's where outrageous selection meets every fan's style.
Kansas, Missouri, Kansas State, Chiefs and Royals make KC great. Rally House, it's your city, it's your house, it's the Rally House.
Level up your fandom in-store or online at rallyhouse.com.
Chiefs Kingdom, are we ready to play? It's time for the Chiefs Kingdom scratch ticket, only from the Kansas Lottery. You could win up to $75,000 instantly, with even more ways to win exclusive, one-of-a-kind Kansas City Chiefs experiences through the Play On app. Play the Kansas Lottery Chiefs Kingdom scratch ticket today. See kslottery.com for details.
Fall's the best time of year to clean up the outside of your home or business, and the best way to do that is with a fresh coat of paint from my friends at CertaPro Painters. You want your home or business to make a great impression, and that starts with the exterior. And when you choose CertaPro Painters, you're choosing the best in the business for your job. CertaPro Painters go the extra mile. If there's a way to save you money, they'll let you know, and they take care of every detail from start to cleanup. So do what we did and schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
When your reputation's on the line, you don't leave anything to chance, especially your primer. Painters trust Kills primers for a smooth start, strong adhesion, and serious stain-blocking power. And now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results, faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Football is back, and Underdog is the best place to select entries and win money all season long. And you can play right now in Missouri. Playing an Underdog is easy. Just choose whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stat lines, touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Get your entries right, and you could win up to 1,000 times your cash and play with as little as $1. It really is that easy. So select those Sundays and find which stats you want to go higher than lower than over at Underdog. Download the app today and sign up with promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P, to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code TAPP, T-A-P-P. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncpgambling.org.
So we do a giveaway at GiveMeTheVin.com. Every month we're giving away $25,000 to one lucky person that sells us their car. Karen, you there?
I'm here.
Karen Gardner of Oceanside, California is the latest winner in GiveMeTheVin.com's big cash giveaway.
What did you sell us?
I sold you a 95 Impala.
And what did we pay you for it?
You guys gave me 18.
18 plus 25,000 because you're the winner, Karen.
Oh my God, you're kidding.
You could be next to get a little more, maybe a lot more.
You guys are awesome. Keep it up.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com. Sell us your car.
Chiefs coverage is sponsored by Missouri Air National Guard St. Joseph, serving your community your way. Serve your country and build a brighter future with the Missouri Air National Guard. Top-notch training, tuition assistance, and bonuses up to $50,000. Missouri Air National Guard St. Joseph. Aim high. Find your path today. Go to ang.com/MO.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can watch every show, plus video clips and shorts, all right from your phone, desktop, or tablet. The Fan's YouTube channel at 965 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number one.
Welcome back, Jay Binkley, Chis Uno Cero. Number one, the Kansas City Chiefs narrative for the 2025 season. I will say this. Looks like Najee Harris is going to play against the Chiefs in Brazil. At least he's ramping up at this point. I don't think it matters. But the narrative for the Chiefs season, to me, Chris, is all about revenge. Lamar Jackson was talking about revenge and got to get revenge on the Buffalo Bills because they lost the postseason. I disagree. I think revenge basically comes when you lose the Super Bowl. When you lose the ultimate game to the Eagles, you have that redemption, that revenge on your mind. I think that there's so much national media has been talking about the downfall of the Chiefs. I'm shocked they even do interviews with some of the national media sometimes, to be honest with you. But I think the revenge, redemption, kind of on the same line you are there with those terms. I think that's the only way to look at it.
Yeah, the way I see it is a lot of people trying to write the Chiefs off and make it seem as if the dynasty is over just because they got smoked in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, ESPN come with the new series, Don't Go to the Kingdom.
And so it's like
the downfall.
And I think like the reasoning behind it is just like they feel like it is. There isn't anything that they can point to say, oh yeah, well this team is definitely in for a downturn, other than it feels like it. And it's just like, you know, a lot of times that isn't what happens in these situations here. Just because a team loses a game, even in a convincing fashion, doesn't mean all of a sudden like they're finished as far as being a contender is concerned. And I don't know what reasoning there would be to think that the Chiefs are going to fall apart for some reason, other than you've convinced yourself that Patrick Mahomes is somehow fading.
At 29.
Yeah, which is like, tells me you don't understand the context of what's happened with the Chiefs, because I think if you actually pay attention to their roster, you would know that, like, the reason why their offense isn't as explosive isn't because of Patrick Mahomes, but because the supporting cast around him isn't quite as good as it used to be. So, I think the people that I think a lot more nowadays, people are trying to convince themselves that this team is falling off, as opposed to looking at the evidence and seeing that even though, like, their offense has taken a downturn the last couple seasons, they've still gone to 3 straight Super Bowls. And, aside from the one performance, they basically dominated everybody in the league.
Yeah, I agree with you. The pick of the downfall, remember what people used to say, how good would Josh Allen be without a great defense? Remember his number 1 scoring defense in the NFL, and the Chiefs beat him in those 13 seconds, came back and tie him in that game. And then would say, well, what's Mahomes with the good defense? What if he had one? Well, he has, and he's had that. The one thing about Mahomes is all the pieces behind him. Like, how good of a quarterback would he be with the solid offensive line he could count on from week 1 to week 2 to week 17 to the playoffs, instead of taking an all-pro like Tooney at guard and putting him at tackle? Yeah, I got you to the postseason, but not necessarily to the Super Bowl. It didn't get you through that with Tooney there. Imagine having the same group of wide receivers, the same group with Mahomes. Like, imagine a situation if Mahomes had like Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison, like what Manning had the luxury of having in Indianapolis. Can you imagine that? Yes, he's going to put up better numbers. And again, when he threw for 5,000 yards in the NFL, the Chiefs were almost dead last in points a game against. The second time he did it, they were 16th in the NFL in points against, meaning teams would score, he'd have to come out there and score. He lost the game scoring over 50 points. He lost the game scoring over 40 points. What would he do if he had that true offense with him year in and year out that he could count on? The numbers would go way up, but who cares about that when you look at, yeah, the numbers come down, but it means your defense is better. Like, that's the goal, is to have a solid NFL team, not being one side good and one side not as good and throw up huge gaudy numbers. That doesn't matter. The wins do. But listen, going forward, and hopefully in this year's draft, they get the offensive line settled with Josh Simmons at tackle. They can concentrate a lot on those pieces for Patrick Mahomes. They're going to have to deal with, a replacement for Kelsey. I still think you have to get better and better at wide receiver each and every year. So I'm curious what happens through Mahomes' 30s, because we're in the dawn of that. He turns 30 this month. We're in the dawn of Mahomes in his 30s. What can the Chiefs do to make his life easier?
Yeah, I think a lot of people have just, again, I think a lot of it is wishful thinking. I think a lot of people are just assuming that there's a downturn is just because of him, because we have a lot of lazy takes about quarterbacks anyways. We've had a lot of people try to make the case that, like, Brock Purdy or Jimmy Garoppolo were great quarterbacks because they did a lot of winning. And it's like, if you know how it works, like, you clearly can see that he's propped up by the talent around him and by his offensive coordinator. But man, it's like the Chiefs have had to change their offense like 3 times now with Patrick Mahomes as their starting quarterback, because the talent has degraded over time, and they're still winning. So
it's like Brady, New England. Remember, they're defensive laden and offensive laden and back to defense. I mean, they went how their team, and that's the way you should do it.
Right, yeah, and it's like what you have to do over time. They had to change their identity up because the talent that they had around him, it degraded over time, and so you had to do what you had to do. But you know what? It's working, and that's the reason why, like, I think it, to me, is just a little weird how so many people are so insistent that the Chiefs are in for a downfall.
So the Chiefs have won 9 straight division titles. The record is 11 with New England. Is it crazy to think this, Chris, that I think the last year's 9th title was the most difficult and the most impressive for Andy Reid, even though they didn't win the Super Bowl? The 9 straight division titles, it goes back to Alex Smith, the starting quarterback. But the fact that you lost so many key pieces, and yet you still found a way to win in a division that had 3 playoff teams from the AFC West, the most in the AFC. NFC, we saw it happen as well, but just one division in the AFC had 3 playoff teams. That's why I thought that was the most impressive year by Andy Reid and company.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought, to me, it was his most impressive coaching job, because the offense that you started out with was not the offense that you had at the beginning of the season.
So we got to make a change.
Yeah, like literally, like the first preseason drive, you lose one of your best receivers. And then, after the first month of the season, you lose your best receiver. And so now you had to completely retool your offense, throw the ball shorter, play it safe, more of a run after the catch offense than down the field, which is what your identity was supposed to be a year ago. And yeah, you had to lean on your defense more. You had to win a lot of really close games, and they kept doing it. And it wasn't like they were playing the easiest competition. They were beating all of the good teams. So, yeah, I mean, I absolutely think that was the best coaching job he did. And I think that was the most impressive job he had at winning the West because, you know, the teams definitely got better last year, and he still had to go out there and navigate it without the best team he could put out there.
Teams have basically at this point done everything possible to stop Mahomes. You see, NFL changes all the time. Just like when the Wildcat came out. Remember? That was against the Patriots. Remember the Dolphins?
Yeah, they couldn't stop it. They couldn't stop it that one
And they're
game.
like, okay, we got to figure out a way to stop it. They did. And the NFL, you know, with too high safety and everything else you're seeing, they did so many different things to try to slow the Chiefs down a couple years ago. And they did a little bit, although the Chiefs were still number one in the NFL in points per drive. Steve Young commented on it, too. He's like, listen, we were in the West Coast offense in San Francisco. Teams figured out a way to slow it down, but we figured out how to make that adjustment and come right back. You see it all the time with Major League players. You know, they get up here, they hit well, the league makes an adjustment. The numbers start going back a little bit. Then the good ones continue to be good, like Bobby Wood Jr. You know, teams will make an adjustment to you, but he doesn't care. He just goes right back at you. That's the difference. And it's the difference. Teams, Chiefs have been able to make the difference up and just shift how they think about things.
Right. And look, we saw the Chiefs make an adjustment after they traded Tyreek Hill. Like, completely changed their offense up, went to a lot of 12, 13 personnel, played bigger, but still were throwing the football the same amount. And because they were spreading the ball around and because Kelsey had the best year of his career, it was really tough for teams to stop him because you didn't like even when Kelsey wasn't the one that was dominating, you had other people that were stepping up. You had you had what's his name, Noah Gray helping out. You had Jody Fortson helping out. Marquez Valdez-Scantling gave you something. Juju almost had a 1,000-yard season that year. Isaiah Pacheco came out of nowhere.
Isn't
and
it funny these receivers all leave and they'll do crap?
Right, yeah. And so it's like, and that's the funny part too, is that you look at Marquez, the minute he left Kansas City.
How about Albert Wilson? All his shine.
Albert Wilson got $9 million from the Dolphins.
He needs to send him a Christmas card to Mahomes every year. He leaves and he's on the back of a milk carton.
He should, because man, like Mahomes is the reason why he got that $9 million from Miami.
Thank you, Patrick.
And then he never did anything down there.
These guys you saw a lot of it in New England too.
Yeah.
You know, Deion Branch would leave and nothing.
Yeah, Deion Branch didn't do anything with the season. They traded a first-round pick for Deion Branch, and then he just disappeared. And then he went back to New England, and he was all right there.
It's funny that these guys just keep leaving. What's the one constant, though, Chris? The quarterback is the constant. And teams may find a way to slow the Chiefs' offense or the skill positions, but guess what happens? 15th in the NFL in points per game for the last 2 years. They haven't exactly been doing good at it, but guess what happens? They make the adjustment. They come back. Deion Branch, by the way, was a Super Bowl MVP. But he
won it, and then he was traded to the Seahawks and didn't do anything. And then he went back to New England like 2 years later, I think.
But the common denominator is you look for the quarterback. And San Francisco thought they had that guy or thinks they have that guy because they clearly paid Brock Purdy to be that guy. But they weren't able to win a ring, and that's when they were paying Purdy seventh-round money. And all of a sudden you give him money. Guess what? You can't keep Debo. You can't keep a lot of other guys. You can't re-up Trent Williams. You can't do a lot of things because you're paying your quarterback. And you didn't win a ring when you weren't paying him.
Right. And so that's the tough part now is like and we're going to see that with the Bengals now, where now that the Bengals you're in the first year of the long-term extension that Joe Burrow signed. And also, you got Jamar Chase with his money sitting out there now. You got T. Higgins playing on the first year of his extension.
Joe Burrow, comeback player of the year 2 times. That matters a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't want my quarterback being comeback player of the year. That means he was out.
I know. And it's like your offensive line still has issues. I mean, yeah, and your defense is going to be terrible this year more than likely. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of concerns right now. And not only that, but you got cap issues. You have so many cap issues, so you have to rely on the draft even more than a team like the Chiefs.
That's one thing about the salary cap. It went up to $279 million this year. The Chiefs thought it was going to $270. It actually was $9 million higher, which made the Trey Smith deal go down real quick. And Karlaftis getting money because the salary cap went up $9 more million than they thought. And then you got Micah Parsons and Jordan Love making a third. They're making over $100 million a year. They're making a third of the salary cap. So you got to be careful with what you do and draft really well. College football, we're on the week 2, believe it or not. We've already had week 0 and week 1. Just kind of your overall thoughts, I guess, on week 1 and what we saw, and especially from the locals.
I think the biggest story is Arch Manning. Arch did not perform the way that he was hyped up. And and I have been preaching all throughout this entire, lead up to the season. Don't just assume that he's going to come in and be the guy that everyone thinks he's going to be, because it ain't that easy. And teams are absolutely going to take whatever film they got from last year and use it against him. And, he didn't beat out Quinn Ewers for that starting job last year when the Longhorns tried to give him every opportunity to do so. That should give you some pause about completely buying in on him.
Because the only thing we said about him was he's good scrambling. Is it better Manning scrambling? That's not what you want to be concerned about.
And we said he's got really good arm talent, but not at any point did we oh my God, he's ready to be the guy.
Jamarcus
now.
Russell did too. He could sit on his knees and throw the ball 80 yards through the air.
Excellent arm strength at LSU. And it didn't matter because he didn't put in the work to try to be a good quarterback in the league. Look, I think Arch is still going to be a great player. I just think it's going to take more time than most of the people in the media and most of the fans thought. I
think this is good for him now, though, because the pressure just kind of go do something now. Because now the spotlight's down a little bit, and I think that's good for him.
I don't think the spotlight's down on him. I think the pressure's actually going to get turned up because those Texans fans, those Texas fans are. They expect greatness. They expect greatness. If Arch goes out this week and doesn't kill it, if he's just okay or bad, there's going to be a lot of talk about whether or not he's
around. That team, Gunnar Helm with a team.
And I agree. I agree. They absolutely need more talent around him. But I also think that there is just this assumption at the collegiate level that if you're a great quarterback, you're just going to make guys better. And I don't think the expectations around Arch have ever been realistic for him. He was the leader in Heisman odds, even though he was not a full-time starter.
Yeah, it's because his name's Manning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He fell in that trap.
If his name was Williams or Jackson,
he fell in the trap.
Or John, I didn't fall in the trap.
You didn't fall in the trap.
I didn't fall in the trap. I was telling everybody, hey, pump the brakes on him, let him go out there and do something first, and then you can talk about him as the number one overall pick or the Heisman Trophy favorite. But I just never bought into that. Because I was this game is a lot harder than I think people realize. And there's a lot of 5-star quarterbacks that come out there, and we don't see them look like 5-star quarterbacks. So that's why I wanted to pump the brakes. And again, if you watch the film on Quinn Ewers, you would be like, how the hell did Arch Manning, if he's supposed to be this great, how the hell did he not beat this guy out?
Unless it was a loyalty situation, but that's ridiculous in sports. You go with the one that can win.
Yeah, and I don't think it was a loyalty situation because I think they gave him they benched Quinn Ewers at one point. He got hurt. He got hurt in a game too and missed some time. But they also benched him and tried to give Quinn the opportunity. Arch the opportunity to take the starting job, and he wasn't good enough to take it from Quinn.
Quinn Ewers might be one of the most interesting stories with sports in the fall of people. Just like with Johnny Manziel. Quinn Ewers, a guy that skipped his senior year of high school football to go play with Ohio State. He had so much acumen coming on. He had so much. When he went back to Texas, everybody thought, wow. Hey, by the way, Archie Manning's Heisman odds slipped to plus 1,800.
So what would that put him at? Is that still top 10?
Ninth on FanDuel. Tied for
so
ninth.
barely top 10.
Tied for ninth.
So
he's tied with Jackson Arnold now.
Yeah,
he's tied with Jackson Arnold.
Barely top 10.
He's behind Dante Moore. He's behind Carson Beck. Behind Sellers. Behind Nussmeier now. And he's behind Gunnar Stockton.
Who's number one?
Nussmeier.
Nussmeier? Okay.
Nussmeier plays on FanDuel. Plus 800.
Where's Drew Aller at?
Oh, Drew Aller is plus 2,000. So
really?
He does
He's
him
behind Arch still?
Yeah,
Wow.
and so's Sam Levitt. And so's Lagway. Lagway's 2,000.
Yeah, I'm not.
Lagway's just where Drew Aller is. And Julian Sayin right there, too.
Yeah, so we'll see on Lagway. He's been injured, so I'm going to wait to see on him. But I'll say this. Nussmeier, nice. Jackson Arnold, if he can, get the passing game together, watch out for him. Watch out for Sam Levitt, man. Sam Levitt I think he's got one of the best paths to a Heisman Trophy.
Yeah, I think people forget he's just a sophomore. He's a sophomore.
But here's the thing is also on top of that, he's got probably, arguably the best receiver right now in college football in Jordan Tyson. If him and Tyson, if that connection develops a little bit more, man, I'm telling you this, like he's a guy to look out for that Heisman, because I don't think the Big 12 is the kind of conference you're looking at in the Big 10 or the SEC. And I think they have potential for some fireworks. Plus, Levitt, really, really good athlete. He can run the ball too.
He's a good one to watch. The Arch Manning thing is too early, man. First game of the year in a road environment, playing the number 3 team. Things change, man. You're going against an NFL defensive coordinator. Matt Patricia still does a great job, and he did as a coordinator, not a head coach. Does a good job at a coordinator. We'll see what happens locally. Missouri scored 61 points, but it was against Central Arkansas. They got their quarterback figured out in Bo Pribula. I thought he won the job anyway. Sam Horn's obviously hurt, so things changed there. But you got KU and MU this week. KU looked really impressive the last 2 weeks. Last week, of course, was against Wagner, FCS team. Did play a bowl team in Fresno State in week 1, and games where Kansas will struggle, in and out. But they handled those teams. They look good. Zembrowski in that offense looks incredible. Jalen Daniels playing incredible. I think this is a really good matchup with Missouri coming up in Columbia this weekend. And K-State, hey, rough game against Iowa State, and then you follow it up with a rough win with 42 seconds left when Joe Jackson scored against an FCS team named North Dakota, not North Dakota State. Big difference.
Yeah, KU Mizzou, I think, is going to be a really fun matchup. It's just going to be fun seeing that rivalry come back for football because, I've enjoyed when KU and Mizzou have played in basketball here lately the last few years. And so I'm really enjoying the fact that football's coming back, too. I think it should be a yearly thing. After
121st meeting.
After next year's game, they're not going to play again until 2031. I think that sucks. I hope they make it a yearly thing because they're like each other's only really real true rival. I know they got like rivalries at other schools, but it ain't the same thing as it is with each other. So I hope it does become a regular thing after 2031, and hopefully we see that rivalry renewed here in the city because I think that things are better here as far as fandoms go when each side is able to go against each other and smack talk a little bit. Because whenever the other team loses, you always got fans for that. Whenever one team loses, you got fans for the other team making fun of the fans of that team that lost. So
really hoping the interest level would be there for local teams in KU, K-State, and Missouri. K-State's got some work to do. I think they shocked me the most how they had just come back and beat a 5-7 FCS team at the end of the game because I thought they would have been pissed. I thought they'd have been real pissed after the Ireland game. And you could say jet lag or whatever. Iowa State didn't have any trouble.
Yeah, no, they didn't have any problem. Not only that, but the thing about it was just how are you getting pushed around on the defensive side?
Never seen them being out physical like I have.
Yeah, how are you letting 35 points get scored by North Dakota? You have Power 4 athletes. How are you getting pushed around like this? So, I hope it was, I hope it's something that was just an aberration for their part. I don't know, maybe some sickness is going around or something. I don't know. At this point, you look at that scenario and it's that can't happen. And when you have real expectations of potentially winning your conference and you show up and you play like that, that's unacceptable if you're.
It's definitely is Kansas State being like them more surprising than K being good, or is it about on par? I think K-State's probably the most surprising being pushed around like they are. You thought Kansas would be good, especially against Fresno State and Wagner. But it's how they've done things, too. They're not close games. They're going out and dominating like they should. I think K-State's definitely the biggest surprise to me.
I agree with that. And I think at this point now, it's like if you're a K-State fan, you're definitely anxious about the season because the first 2 games indicate that it ain't going to be that good of a
And
year.
an Army team that's really physical this weekend.
Right. And this is going to be normally we would have just, before the season circled this as an easy dub for K-State. You can't now because they just played against an FCS school and they had to come back to win the game. And if this game is close on Saturday against Army, now there's some real problems with K-State, and we got to start talking about what the future of the program is because clearly it's not living up to expectations.
And the talent's there. It is.
It is. Like, again, you got a four-star quarterback in Avery Johnson. Jace Brown, good receiver there.
You didn't have Dylan Edwards again this week.
Yeah, and again, this is the reason why I criticize them putting Dylan Edwards out there to return punts, because he's little, and all he has to do is take one bad hit, and he could be down. So you're missing him.
And you saw that on a rainy turf, rainy grass field.
Rainy grass field. Like, what are you doing? So this hasn't started the way that I know K-State fans wanted it, and you got to have to ask questions if there is any sort of struggle this Saturday against Army. They should go out there and they should take care of business with no sweat at all.
How much do you think they're jonesing at Kansas? You know, the new stadium. Well, not new. It's the booth, but it's been upgraded.
Right.
So good things are happening at Kansas, and they used to be Kansas State just slapping KU around.
Oh, I'm sure if you're KU, you're feeling really good about how the Wildcats
it's really
started.
really weird.
Yeah, when you have that, I'll say this: if this season turns out to be a disaster for K-State, I'm sure KU is like, okay, hey, this is great for us. You know, we can kind of get a leg up on the competition there. So yeah, I'll say this: a win for KU against Mizzou this Saturday would be really huge for them. It'd be a huge boost for that program.
Yeah, I can't even imagine.
Yeah,
what that'll do to boost that team.
Oh, it would be
because then all of a sudden, I mean, again, it's not a conference. They haven't played any conference.
Still a
games
big
yet.
game though.
Yeah, it is. But as far as the psyche of the team, their confidence going forward,
I think Jalen Daniels needs it because he doesn't have that big game win like that as the guy. Like, I think Devin Neal did a lot of the heavy lifting last year. This will be the opportunity I think he has to go out there and get that dub.
Well, I'm just glad they're playing. That's going to be.
Me too.
Iowa State are playing this weekend too, but the KU-MU game is going to be great. College game day is going to Oklahoma and Michigan, but SEC Network, Marty McGee, Feinbaum, all that's going to Columbia.
Which I think I'm perfectly fine with that. Michigan OU, I'm cool with that being game day, the game day pregame selection.
Well, the Kansas Jayhawks, they played Missouri, but then a very physical West Virginia team, although it's in Columbia. Then Cincinnati, at UCF, at Texas Tech. Actually, I think Texas Tech very good this year. K-State, Oklahoma State, at Arizona, at Iowa State, and Utah. Still, I mean, there is, you look and there is, 4 to 5 losses built in there. It really is.
There's some good teams there, but hey, if they can get a win here, you're starting to. I mean, maybe they can. You talking about K-State, right? Or
that was KU's schedule.
If KU can get a win over Mizzou, maybe there's some confidence built up there.
Well, you saw how important that Missouri
run.
win over K-State was a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was huge because I don't think there was a lot of faith in that Mizzou team that year. And then they go out and they get that win over K-State, and then next thing you know, it kind of propels them. So yeah, no, a win here for KU can really kind of set them up for a nice little run going into the stretch run in conference play.
Look at it this way, Chris. So Central Arkansas out of the way for Missouri. We'll say Missouri beats Kansas.
Right.
Then all of a sudden you're Louisiana at home. Then you're 3-0. And then you're South Carolina, who did beat them in Columbia, South Carolina last year. But before that, Missouri had won, 4 or 5 straight against South Carolina. And then UMass, Alabama, different looking Alabama at Auburn will be tough.
Look, Mizzou's schedule is going to be tough.
Missouri has a real chance to start off really, really, really hot.
They do, but they've got some. I mean, that South Carolina game is not going to be easy. Especially
they beat them last year. And South Carolina barely missed the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. Is like there's a lot of talent in the SEC
and a Heisman hopeful quarterback.
Even the mid-tier teams in the SEC still have a lot of talent on them. So that's gonna be tough.
But to play all those games at home at the beginning of the year, man, you couldn't draw it up better for Missouri.
Right? Yeah, it's a good situation to start out with. But yeah, they do kind of have a gauntlet once they start getting into conference play.
Take a timeout. We come back. Look at week 2. Flip the page to week 2 for college football going forward, where the locals play this coming week. And mentioned already KU and MU playing. We know that. See what K-State play in Army. But we'll look at the grand scheme of things for college football coming up, and then finish out with the Chiefs.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
This man was a bona fide scrub.
On 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Missouri, get ready! The wait is almost over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State, and you can sign up today. New Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets when we launch on December 1st. Download now and place a $5 bet when we go live. DraftKings Sportsbook brings everything you need to elevate your game day, including live in-game betting, lightning-fast payouts, and endless ways to get in on the action, all right from your phone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code 965 to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live December 1st. That's promo code 965 in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
I'm Jace Brown, and Canes fuels my game.
The Wildcats and their fans are some of the most dedicated in football. It's a quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Canes. One Love, official partner of K-State Athletics.
It's time to build that dream deck over at All Weather Decks. Schedule a free estimate today at 913-206-1974 or online at allweatherdecks.net. All Weather Decks, the right deck at the right price.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Welcome back, Jay Binkley, Chis Uno Cero, The Drive. So this week, Chris, you can just sit around and just not have to do the Seattle thing or nothing. Just chill out and watch the games.
Yeah, I'm not going back to Seattle this weekend.
No, but I mean doing other things, right? I assume week 2 will be consumed with Missouri and Kansas at 2:30. But anything before that really grabs you?
So you do have the Texas game. That's going to be a must-watch just from a narrative standpoint of seeing whether or not Arch rebounds after his week 1 performance. I do think you want to watch Penn State as well because Drew Aller could be the top quarterback in this year's draft class. So
I think Iowa State 11 is a good, nice little appetizer.
Yeah. And then, obviously like KU, Mizzou. I'm going to watch USF in Florida as well because, man, I'm going to tell you, Florida got some wide receivers right now. And Lagway, I think, is a future NFL quarterback. So definitely I think there's some pro talent on that squad. But really like the big ones like night game, you've got, Michigan and OU. Definitely the Auburn game. Auburn, I think, is another team full of NFL talent. We'll see if they can put it together as a squad.
And Oklahoma's previous quarterback, Jackson Arnold.
Right, yeah. So you do have that connection there. But this isn't as heavy of a lineup as it was last week.
No.
Because you did have multiple ranked matchups. I think you just have one this weekend, which is obviously the Michigan OU game. So aside from that, it's a whole lot of really good teams playing against really bad teams, and they should beat them by like 40 points.
Arizona State, you want to see how for real they are? A team that wasn't even picked to they were picked dead last in the Big 12 last year, of course, to make the playoffs. Sam Levitt talked about him. They're playing at Mississippi State at night. That'll be fun. The Kansas Army game, by the way, is 6 o'clock on ESPN, or right here, 96.5.
Yeah, so
or 6:10.
Yeah. So, make sure you check that one out. Definitely the big story there is Kansas State's still going to have trouble with teams they should be beating. I can understand the Iowa State
chance to watch
loss,
them 6 o'clock, Army, Kansas State.
But are they going to have trouble again this week? Because they had trouble with a team they should have beaten pretty handily.
The Army ran for 280 last week. So.
Yeah, so if they and they look like they have troubles up front. If they do have troubles up front against Army, it's going to be a long season for K-State. I'll say that.
So, anyway, the games will be set. Oh, by the way, I was going to tell you this. Remember all those times we spent in St. Joe covering Chiefs and all that?
Yeah.
There was a place that I am mad I missed because it's wonderful. It's been there for 60 years. I actually went to eat some Mexican food at this place called Barbosa's in St. Joe. I was going to tell you, I took pictures of these tacos, man. I was shocked. I'd been there so long. I'd never heard of it. Never heard of it. Been there 60 years.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't go up to St. Joe very often, so I don't think I've been in a.
But I was shocked. I went up there recently and I was like, "Whoa, how did I miss this all those years?"
It's probably because you ate at all the burger joints and the wing joints.
Probably ate at Uncle D's every day.
You did for a while, and it was open. Yes, you went there every day. Even if you didn't have a show, you would go up there and you would chow down.
Oh, by the way, you can watch Arch Manning on ABC at 11.
I mean, yeah, it's not a great 11 o'clock slate. So yeah, they're absolutely going to make sure he's on there.
Good weekend taking some Royals baseball too.
Yeah, it is. It's a great weekend, especially if you want to go. Like I said, if you are a big baseball fan, but you also like college football, this might be the weekend to go out there and go check out the Royals because it ain't a great college football slate. So if you're going to do it and you're not going to do it Friday night, get out there Saturday night, and then obviously make sure you're ready to go for football on Sunday.
We'll see if that happens. Regardless, Kansas City Chiefs Friday night, I think we're both looking forward to that. I think the city's looking forward to that. I think the city is ready to turn the page from the Super Bowl and move on. They watched the Kingdom. They saw the green confetti fly down, and they're ready to turn the page. It's like watching the Titanic. You know the boat's going to sink, right? It's time to make a new story. But anyway, we'll talk about the Kansas City Chiefs and those Chargers coming up next.
Hey, it's Lucas Ursig from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to The Drive with CDOT on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Want to see the 2015 World Champion Royals swing it again? Come out to Home Run Derby X at Kauffman Stadium for a reunion on September 13th. Eric Hosmer, Mike Moustakas, Alex Gordon, Ben Zobrist, and Lorenzo Cain take their cuts against reps from the Blue Jays and the Mets. Come join the action for a night of massive dingers, slick defense, and target-smashing thrill. You don't want to miss it. Get your tickets now at MLB.com/HRDXKC. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Hey folks, I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth. Why not start today?
This summer, Casey's has 89-cent fountain and frozen drinks. But if you don't have 89 cents, you could check your center console, or dig between your couch cushions, or ask Grandma for $1, or just use your credit card. We take those too. 89-cent frozen and fountain drinks at Casey's, all summer long. Restrictions may apply. See store for details.
Brew Brothers at Harris, Kansas City, now open. Dine on mouth-watering appetizers, then feast on one of our 6 American Wagyu burgers, including the Bacon Jam Burger and Blazing Burger. Wash it down with your favorite ice-cold beverage, all while watching the game on one of our 45 TVs. Dine in or carry out. Brew Brothers at Harris, Kansas City always hits the spot. Brew Brothers and Brew Brothers Express are now open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-BETS-OFF.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated. Because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life, and fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At Heartland Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Park & Go, the best deals on airport parking.
Don't fumble your airport parking. Score big with Park & Go. All covered parking, fast and free shuttles, and open 24/7. For the best deals in airport parking, reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family owned and fan approved.
Well hit. Go ball. Gone!
Royals fans, FanDuel Sports Network is your TV home and streaming home of the Royals.
Beautiful.
And there are more ways to watch this season. Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network to stream the Royals without blackouts.
Yes!
Or watch through a TV provider.
Right down the middle.
Including DirecTV, Spectrum, Xfinity, Fubo, Cox, and more.
Love it.
Learn more at royals.com/tune in.
They are relentless.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Welcome back, Jay Binkley, Chris Uno Cero. One thing, too, Chris, is in that Arizona State game, if purely prospect-wise, you see some Jordan Tyson, one of the best receivers in the country. I doubt he would fall anywhere near where the Chiefs. I mean, he's probably He could be the first receiver taken.
The Chiefs aren't taking a wide receiver in round 1.
I don't think so, but I'm saying that if he could, I mean, he's going to fall between 13 and 20 probably.
Yeah, I don't think
him and Antonio Williams be up there. Denzel Washington.
I wouldn't even talk about him with the Chiefs. If he falls to the Chiefs range.
If he is, I would take him. 100% I'd take him.
Something would be wrong with him if he falls to the Chiefs range. Yeah. And they might pass on him too if he falls that far.
Tony Williams might.
Yeah.
He got hurt in game 1.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it's possible there. I don't see receiver for the Chiefs. I think round 1, you need to be looking at defensive tackle.
Regardless, Friday night, Chiefs-Chargers. It's going to be tough for them because they got to go fly all the way to Brazil, then fly all the way back here and play the Eagles in game 2. But, it'd be nice. Again, the Chiefs are 17-3 in the last 10 years against the Chargers. None of that, of course, matters this season. I think a lot of I know the fans are ready to turn the page because they were ready to turn the page after the Super Bowl. A lot of them couldn't watch NFL Network or ESPN. We were talking NFL for weeks after that. Then they finally come around with minicamp. They get the training camp. People turn the page. You start looking forward to game 1. The players, for sure. I mean, they were, understandably really down after that Super Bowl. I mean, for years, the Chiefs just got the Super Bowl a big thing. But the fact is, I think they're pretty pissed. As a matter of fact, I think the Chargers are going to get that taken out of them. Even without Rashee Rice and it looks like Jalen Royals, the Chiefs have something. They're pretty bitter after that Super Bowl loss.
Well, yeah, because you controlled your own destiny. All you had to do was just show up, play your game, and I'm sure they thought, hey, we could go out here and we can win 3 straight and make history. And you played incredibly flat, and you ended up losing out on a chance to make history. So yeah, I guarantee you, there's a ton of frustration there. And I mean, it's the NFL, so I don't know if they're going to go in there and serve an ass whooping up to the Chargers, but I'm sure they're very motivated to go out there and as we've talked about all show, redeem themselves after what happened in the Super Bowl.
I mean, this is your chance. You had all offseason to think about that game, what could have gone wrong. You had the national media downplaying the team as the dynasty over. You had the Kingdom show that just came back on that just reminded them and everybody else. And, of course, they had a big premiere for it, too, that they went to. But, the outcome wasn't good. And not what you want to see, getting hammered by the Eagles like that in the Super Bowl. So you had all these factors. It's the piss factor, Chris. I don't think we talk about it enough. You know what I mean? You can talk about stats and the matchup and everything else, but you can also talk about that chip on the shoulder, which I think plays hard in the NFL.
Yeah, I absolutely think that there's going to be a chip on the shoulder there. I mean, look at what happened with Mahomes changed his hairstyle up. I think there was some, something emotional there about, hey, it's time for me to grow up.
How come Dylan Raiola didn't change it?
I mean, maybe he will when he's about to turn 30. He'll change his hair just like Mahomes did. Maybe he's trying to live out their career arc of Mahomes.
Regardless, they have seen. I know there's new commercials out with State Farm and all that. You're going to see commercials, but I do think you've seen less and less. The Chiefs have kind of stayed out of the spotlight to some extent.
Well, I just think that now they just become the norm. So it's okay, let's focus on other people out there. But the interesting thing is going to be, how do they perform in that first month of the season where you face off against 3 teams who were in the playoffs last year, and 3 teams that a lot of people think could make some noise.
Hey, you start 3-0. I mean, all of a sudden, the whole narrative around them changes.
If you start 4-0, because
that too. You just get the first 3 and you beat the Chargers, then you beat the Eagles. Just in 2 games right there, you're saying, okay, look.
Oh yeah, if they win the first 2, the narrative is gonna shift, and it's gonna be like, oh, well, here we go again. If they win the first 4, well, then now everything shifts, and the people who were angry, who were prognosticating the doom of the Chiefs, probably are going to find some excuse as to why the Chiefs are winning that doesn't involve them being better than everyone, like the refs again or something. So it's not really going to be an ending cycle.
That any penalty flag thrown on the Chiefs fan, that's going to spark. And here's the thing, people. It's not people in Kansas City doing this, but clearly others. But flags in football have been a part of the sport since the sport began.
Yeah, and the refs have never, there's never been a perception that the refs are great at their job. If you go and look at, I always like to go peek at like the SB Nation boards for opposing teams that the Chiefs play, and like the fan every game, holding on every single play they want it called. Like that's just how fans are.
There was an LSU touchdown taken off the board that should have been a touchdown. It happens everywhere.
This is just how it is. Like officials are not great, really. I mean, they're like great enough, but they're not that great at their jobs. And so, like there's going to be some missed calls. There's going to be some calls that happen that shouldn't have happened. That's just how officiating is in sports in general. But it's just people looking for excuses as to why their team can't beat the Chiefs, and so they're going to grasp whatever they can.
Chris, it's almost funny. Remember when the refs went on strike and it was a replacement refs?
Yes.
Remember everybody crying to get those guys back? Then as soon as they're back, boom, they go back to being criticized. Public enemy number one.
The minute the Fail Mary happened, everyone knew that, okay, they're going to strike a deal tomorrow, and that's exactly what happened.
I don't care which game you're watching. There's always a stupid call. Did you watch the Vikings and the Rams game in the regular season? I mean, there's horrible officiating everywhere. I mean, anywhere you look, there is. But people want to micro look at the Chiefs in penalties. The referees actually had to make a statement that they're not looking to help the Chiefs. Like, that's ridiculous they even had to do that.
Yeah, again, it's just people making excuses because their team can't beat the Chiefs. That's why.
Can't beat them, cry about something. That's what they all do. Chis Uno Cero, thank you much. It's fun doing the show with you today, buddy.
Yep, always fun.
We just dropped our latest character concerns where we look at draft prospects. That just went out today. So we do that each and every week. Looking forward to it, Chris. Looking forward to the game tonight with UNC and TCU. See everybody tomorrow. Bob, Dusty, and Mac, 5:58.
Catch you later, guys.
Listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
For the first time in a long time, I'm willing to dream that this can be a special season for the Missouri Tigers.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5 The Fan.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Stay comfortable year-round with fast, reliable service 24/7, even weekends and holidays. Already invested in repairs? Save up to $4,500 on a new HVAC system. Schedule today at AnthonyPHCE.com.
Listen up, folks. I want to tell you guys about my new obsession. It's Daisy French Onion Dip. With football season